Hey guys, it's JLD, just laying down, and in today's video, we will be interviewing fellow Twitch streamer IcedTCurtis, who has multiple personalities during his Twitch streams, the main one being the champion persona and self-proclaimed standing streamer. He has a very unique OBS and stream setup, and we will learn about that more in this interview. For those who are new to our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to get the most up-to-date info on when we post future interviews and YouTube shorts. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitch, where we are live every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the interview. And we're gonna get started. So welcome in, Ice-T. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing real well. How you doing, JLD?
We're doing great. I'm rocking my belt that I earned from streaming on Twitch. You know.
Yeah, I'm rocking mine that I earned from beating people's asses. Honestly.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know about that. There was some controversy going on back in October about the belt. Do you care to elaborate about that?
Yeah, I do care to elaborate just a little bit on that. So everybody likes to say that Pleepy's the champion, but that was an unsanctioned match. It was
with the Lenovo announcers. He did say that you lost the belt. How do you feel about that?
He didn't say I lost the belt. Okay, he literally said he's got the belt because he did some like BS like discount double check thing. There was no belt there. I didn't even bring it with me because it wasn't on the line. Like, nobody promoted this. I'm a prize fighter. I don't know why anybody thinks that I would just impromptu match in a foam pit. I don't know. I just did it for fun. There was no promotion. There was no anything on the line, no contract signed. The only contract I signed was the one that said no hits to the head. So I don't know. I don't know what contract we were reading, but I read through that. I signed it. He signed it. And they still, yeah, but they went back on it and they gave me the win because it was a disqualification. So I don't know why there's so much confusion.
Do you think that they gave Pleepy the win because there was no referee to see him step on your side of the foam pit?
Well, after they watched it back, because I had to send a complaint, and I got my lawyers involved, and I got good lawyers, okay? I mean, you don't dress like this if you don't got good lawyers. So, I mean, honestly, they took it back. They didn't make a huge announcement about it, but I know right here, and that's really all that matters, to be honest. So everybody can say, Pleepy's the champ, but I don't see no belt around his waist.
That's because you didn't ship it to him.
How do you ship it to him? He's got to pin my shoulders to the mat, or I got to quit, or something. Fair. You don't just push somebody over and win a title. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's how it works. I've never seen it before anyway.
Let me check something really quickly. Apparently the channel point isn't there for questions. Let me just verify. Oh, okay, never mind. It's there. We good. Okay. But yeah, for anybody that's in chat, there is a one channel point redemption if you want to ask IcedTCurtis any kind of questions throughout the night. It is a open discussion. Oh my god, the new champ is there. Let them know. High Exposure. High Exposure, welcome in. Lovely Mama, welcome in as well. Dude, that has been the biggest like controversy revolving you and Pleepy for like months now. Like, this happened in October back on TwitchCon, and like the fact that like your community, myself, and everybody has literally made it their mission to like constantly remind you like, yo, Pleepy won. Even the channel points.
Oh my god, I know. So like when we were there and I saw it, I was just like, it's a good opportunity for a memory. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely. It was like, we're here, they're doing it. Like, what are the odds that they're actually doing something like that to where like I can kind of tap into it? And honestly, Sleepy's a little bit, you know, he's a little bit bigger than I am. You know, he's definitely he's a solid guy. So I was like, all right, and I even told him, I was like, if I go off, I'm not gonna like try to stop it. Like, cause I felt my foot sliding. And as soon as that happened, I was like, I'm not going to fall forward and break a rib, right? Like, I don't want to do that. And I know how to fall. So I was like, I could fall off the cliff, right? Like, I could just go, but, and it didn't hurt at all. So, you know, it's definitely a great memory. And it's just like great to like go back and like, it creates future content that we could do. And just like, you know, create a little world that you got going on there, you know?
Dude, and it's scary because like you said, it didn't hurt at all for you, like when you fell back, but like the amount of controversy just the foam pit as a whole had because of Adriana Chechik and like I think somebody else like sprained their ankle or something, it messed people up bad, and like you can't help but feel bad for them because they were just having a good time, and like people could say all they want, like, oh, like you jumped up like super high just to fall down and break your spine or whatever it was, but like still that's stuff that should be secure no matter what for those situations at the end of the day. So like you know,
well, if you read the contract you signed, it was just it was kind of like, we're not responsible for you doing this, you know, like you're not responsible for injuries, like this is the deal, like you're willfully, and that's how a lot of stuff is, you know, like, hey, you're signing up to do this. And I was just like, that's why I didn't want to take a fall against my will, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't necessarily like, you know, jump down and see drop it. I mean, that's a little crazy, but I know I could take it here, you know, like just take the brunt of it there. And I felt fine. I literally rolled through, got up, and I had to go back and get my badge because it flew off of my head. If you watch closely, it just literally went like this and went flying. I had to go back and get my badge, you know, not that anybody wouldn't know who I was, you know what I mean?
Could we possibly see a JLD versus Ice-T match at TwitchCon 2?
If the money's right.
Oh. Also, I love the fact that you're still in character with the camera zooms and everything. Like, chat, this is just something, if you're in his stream, this is normal. Like, to see, like, you'll see his full body, then all of a sudden he starts talking, and then all of a sudden you see, like, a close-up of his face. It's already over, imagine. So, Ice-T.
God.
Normally how we start this couch talk is we will let you introduce yourself to the chat. Feel free to introduce yourself with anything you feel that the chat should know about you, who you are, where you're from, what do you stream, what your schedule is, anything that you feel chat should know about you from the rip, especially when they go right into your channel for the first time.
Well, all right. It's a lot to unpack, I guess. I'm IcedTCurtis. My real name's Trav. You know, that's pretty much who we're talking to right now. I'll fade in and out of character just for shits and giggles, but for the most part, I'm an improv streamer, and it's kind of reactory content, but not like reaction content. So I've pretty much set up channel point traps that I now hold off for a little while so I could stream longer, you know, because if I did that in 25 minutes, I'd be done. So, you know, we have a little bit of story arc. All the channel points kind of have their own little thing. I'm always looking to broaden that, however which way that is. So right now I main the Ice-T, the wrestler, the heel, D-list celebrity. You know, we do that. We like to troll all the bad Twitter takes that everybody has. You know, and honestly, it's a reason to give you a reason to beat me up when the time comes. But I'm completely trolled. My whole thing is like, the stream is supposed to be about Ice-T, right? Like, he thinks it's about him, but it is not about him at all. It's about everybody else who wants to do all these things to me, whether they really want to or don't want to. But, you know, so I do like the normal streams every once in a while just to break it up, because obviously I work a full-time job. If I'm going to be working out on stream like that and then going to work, I'll be drained. So we don't want to do that. We want to kind of keep ourselves, you know, not burned out, and doing those type of streams helps. But this is the stream that pretty much jumps in your face and like, who's that guy? You know what I mean? And that'll make more people want to know who I actually am. And that kind of take on it kind of works for the most part, because the last time I did a normal Trav stream, like, and we hung out and I just talked and we just shot the shit and like just talked about stuff and hung out. And I got to see a lot of people that I don't get to interact with much, because when I'm doing the shtick, I'm doing the shtick. So like, if somebody comes in and like, how's it going? I'm like, oh, it's great. It's great being the champ, right? Because I'm in character and I'm kind of doing my thing here. So, you know, it's a little hard to actually talk to me. So sometimes people get that a little twisted and don't realize I'm doing a character, and you know, that's up to them. And then we also are working on another stream, which is the IcedTCurtis stream, which is supposed to be the opposite of how much of a douche I am, right? So now that's going to be more or less like, you know, IcedTCurtis, you know, because if I let my hair down and, you know, I kind of look like somebody, you know what I mean? So we do that, and we bring the light, you know, we have conversations about healing and repenting for our sins, mostly on Twitch and when it comes to content creation, you know, and, you know, there's going to be some commandments that will be written, and, you know, we hope to heal everybody and make Twitch a better place for everybody. But other than that, I'm just a regular guy from New Jersey. I'm originally from Bayonne, New Jersey, right across the water from Manhattan, and Staten Island, New York City in general. And I live in the Jersey Shore now, and I've been streaming going on 2 years now. And I didn't think I'd be here.
Let's go.
If we're gonna be honest.
Hell yeah,
that's
bro.
Just a little about me.
And for anybody that wants to get to know IcedTCurtis or check out his streams when he does go live, ! guest in the chat will give you his Twitch, it'll give you his Twitter, it'll give you his Instagram. All of his social medias are there to check him out. I highly recommend you do so, because it's his stream is one of a kind. It is not something you want to miss at all. Black Sheep, we are interviewing IcedTCurtis tonight. This is our couch talk segment where we interview members of the community. Did I miss anything else? Oh, and Garbage asked if you're breaking kayfabe right now, which I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, imagine if I were to come in here full character. Wow, I have my widgets on. That's crazy.
There you go. JC Chills, I appreciate you following Ice-T. Let's go.
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that.
And at least you can see it in real time, because you have your virtual cam. That's why.
Yeah. I kind of wanted everything to kind of be off at this, you know. But thank you for the follow. I appreciate that.
Yeah, everybody should follow him, because he's like definitely up there in people that I try to make it my mission to pull up on when they are live, even if like I can only go on for a few minutes. JC Chills, you're freaking goat, man. Let's freaking get it. So first question coming in, and I like to prioritize the questions that chat comes through with, and then I usually go into my questions afterwards once they've been completed. So Cambo Combo's first question is, do you acknowledge JLD and his fake belt?
you would ask that. I do acknowledge JLD, and it's not fake, it's real. It's two different titles, you know. Champions could be amongst other champions, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be all fighting all the time. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. So I do acknowledge JLD.
Let's go. Midge, welcome in. You had a W stream today, by the way. Hope you had a fantastic Monday. Yeah. Let's get it. Garbage has the next question, and I'm gonna freaking love this one.
Oh boy.
Can you join my Warzone customs? I'm trying to promote it on Hover, but nobody is responding.
Don't you have enough people in your chat to get Warzone customs lobby going on? Yeah. No.
Oh my lord.
Okay.
Dude,
you need me? I'm a bot.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get into that freaking place where everything dies later on in the questions. Holy crap. But that freaking question's got tier. Yes, you are a bot. Let him know, Drakus. All right, and then Zero Cool is coming in. Thoughts on a IcedTCurtis versus IcedTCurtis match? Can this be done?
So,
it's actually good versus evil.
Yes. So, pretty much what so I'll give you a little intel on like what I'm doing for IcedT. So IcedT, like if you've ever seen my channel, you know I have like ridiculous bit alerts. Like I don't know, I find it like very important to me that when somebody gives me something that they could laugh at something, you know what I mean? That it makes it worth it, that it isn't like the same thing as something else, or if it is like a trendy thing, I make it like me, right? Like I take it and I do it in a way that only makes sense for me to do it, you know? So with like, as I did IcedT for the first time, I was seeing that these things didn't make sense to be, like I could still use them for when I stream normal because I'm known more for IcedT and I always probably will be. Mm-hmm. but like these things are going to involve, like these bit alerts are going to still be like songs and like little music video clips, I guess, if you want to call them that. And it's going to involve Ice-T and Christ-T, you know, and it's pretty much that, you know, I'm the one that needs to be saving and kind of like reeled in, right? Because, you know, I get a little crazy with my mouth sometimes. So like I got to be punished and I got to repent myself. So you might be able to see something eventually. I'm kind of working on a channel point to see if I can make it work. And I don't want to really say that yet because I like to keep it
as a surprise until it's actually time.
Right. Yeah. Nice try. Garbage trying to raid me. So fucking the thing comes on. I have streamer bot off. I'm smart. I'm not gonna.
We would have saw a whole Seth Rollins intro. Yeah, that would have been perfect.
Oh my God. It was so stupid. Nice try though. With 5. You got 5 bots.
I was gonna say too. I was debating too. I was gonna, if I should say like FYI chat, Ice-T is using his virtual cam. If you want to like go to his channel points.
I would have just get stuff spammed in my ear. Yeah, no.
Could have saw the Pleepy victory. Could have saw the KO. But you guys could probably see them down there. Like we have his clips playing nonstop here, so you sort of get an idea of how the stream is as a whole. You see the warped vortex and all that, and the ring and everything. So you get a little bit of a sneak preview down below with the clips.
Well, yeah.
My lord, GG. Let's go. All right. Let's keep it going. Cambo Combo. What made you decide to start streaming? Were you ever inspired by anyone, or was it another way that you discovered streaming?
Good question. So I really have always been into like technology, right? Like from a kid, I watched Star Trek and stuff like that. Obviously video games, computer classes in school as a kid just were like awesome. Like I loved everything, even as, you know, I guess primeval as it was back in the 90s, you know, but I had a blast playing like Number Maze and, you know, Pajama Sam and Zumbinis and like everything. Like I just love the whole idea that like a computer like and stuff like that. And through, you know, I'm a restaurant manager again. For a little while I wasn't because I had left, and in 2021 I was pretty much gassed. And I started working on like little things, like, and I bought a laptop and I started playing around. I streamed on Mixer like 4 times just to see what it was like. And this was like years ago, like not serious at all. Just had like a cheap camera and like played Friday the 13th, and it was fun. And I really didn't do it. Yeah, I really didn't do it for any reason other than like I wanted to see what happened, you know. But as and Habs is the one who really introduced me to Twitch. I really didn't know anything about it. And so, excuse me, I started streaming with the sense of like, I don't want to play the same games as everybody else. I don't want to, I'm not really good at them anyway. Like I have fun playing Call of Duty, but you really want to watch me? Maybe if you get to know me and be like, oh, he's a bot, it's funny to watch him. Maybe, you know, like, but that you're not just going to roll up on me and just watch me play that if someone's looking for somebody who's good at playing a game. That's not me. So I was like, I'm going to play games that I miss playing. And through the entire time of COVID, being a restaurant manager, got promoted to general manager. I got to what I wanted to do, right? Like I wanted to always be a GM to make the money, right? I worked in a restaurant business for 15 years. I achieved that and I was miserable, especially during like COVID, post-COVID. And I was just looking for stuff to be excited about again. And I decided I was going to start streaming. Credit Habs who helped me out with all my setup stuff and everything like that. To learn like all these tech things that maybe I have not have known. Obviously, I've learned a lot in 2 years, which is crazy. But you know, you gotta literally, you know, watch stuff, learn, make mistakes, fail, try again, all that type of stuff. But when I had quit my job as a general manager because I was number 8 in the company, and they decided to sit me down and ream me out and tell me I need to be better over a couple like little things, like certain things weren't made 100% correct, but I wasn't making them. And the way it was is like we didn't have any staff. We didn't have anything. I had new managers. I was the only one that knew anything, trying to teach managers, trying to teach staff, trying to do all that. And they told me to be better, and they started giving me buy wins. And like I sat there and I remember they told me to write everything they said down. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I have one of the best turnovers. I'm number 8 in the company. I'm not even like the highest in sales by a lot. Like, you know, you look at like 1,200, 1,300 restaurants. and I'm not even the highest in sales, but I'm profiting the most and I'm retaining the most staff. Like people stayed because of me to make sure, because we were in it together, right? Like, you know, you really are in it together, and especially at that time. And as I spun my wheels and I was making all this money, like I remember my first bonus was like $4,800, and I was happy for 30 seconds, and I was like, but I gotta keep killing myself to do it. So I decided that I was gonna just quit. And I talked to Colleen, we talked about it. I took my 401k out, and I went home for the first time in years that I had a summer off, and I was like, all right, let's start streaming. I'm gonna start playing games that I like, which like Resident Evils and like old platformers from Super Nintendo, and like just goofy games that like I have a lot of nostalgia for and that I haven't beaten. Like I really look at stuff like, I haven't beaten that game. Like I really should try to beat that game before I buy another game. You know what I mean? Like instead of sitting on all these games I can't beat, like it's ridiculous. Like, so I was like, I'm going to try to beat these games. And eventually maybe people will get to know me, and maybe that'll do something. And maybe that'll be where now we make connections, and then all this other funny stuff we talk about, that you would like sit and just hang out and talk about in the living room. Like, imagine if this happened, or, you know, imagine if this scenario happened. Like, and I realized like I had the green screen, I'm just green screening myself in. And I started playing around with stuff, and then here we are.
Let me tell you something. I don't care how much money I make. I could make 6 figures at a job. If I feel miserable, especially like after having so much experience in that field, I don't mind leaving. And I hope chat understands that too, because like no amount of money is worth your mental well-being, your physical well-being, especially like in your profession where you're literally physically demanded to do things a lot of times. And it's just sad that management doesn't even notice it. Like they'll see one wrong thing, like you said, there's like they were saying, I'll do better, and like, oh, way things are folded, or the way things weren't cleaned, or something like that, just as an example. It's like you see that, but you didn't see like the 20 years of me like busting my ass for this company to like make it where it is today. Curtis, put the mic to your throat. Dank, welcome in. Fam Diggy, welcome in. Mojo, I see you, bro. Welcome in. Solon, I appreciate the Prime sub as well for 14 months. Freaking appreciate you, bro. And but yo, Campbell, that was an amazing question. Thank you for asking that. All right, next question. Actually, I got Gigi Bunny's question next, but before I ask that question, I'll ask one of my own.
Okay.
So one of the big things that stands out to like your audience is the green screen. Now, obviously, to some people, it's just a wrestling ring behind you, especially if they've never seen you before. What made you think of doing your green screen setup as you've done? And can you explain to the chat who may not know you how your green screen setup is right now?
Well, I could probably... So I think I might have a scene here that has all my cameras on.
Okay.
Let's see if I can do that, because I have 5 cameras and I'm really primarily using 2. Let me go to studio mode real quick. I don't think you guys can see. Scene 4. No. I might have one here. Well, I probably can't put it together quick enough, but let me see. Scene, no, I don't have it. Well, how do I explain this, I guess? So pretty much this right here, this is a couch. So this is how I bump on stuff. It, you know, obviously I'm not taking anything on the floor, but I have a camera here, 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 and I have a camera here. This whole back wall's green screened in. I have half the ceiling green screened out, and I painted my floor green. So like I'm kind of in like a corner, like a right angle. And I kind of just, you know, like when I had the flat green screen, just the backdrop, and I didn't have enough room to do stuff. And as I started learning how to do everything in OBS, and like how to edit, and how to kind of just get into position and hear my marks and stuff like that. Like I wanted to just kind of, you know, full send it, I guess. Like I always wanted to do it, and I kind of was like holding off, and I was like, why am I wasting my time? Like this is what I want to do, so I'm just gonna go for it. And whatever I start doing, because I didn't start off as playing this character as like a bad guy. Like I started off as a good guy, and then I got beat up, you know, and I was like, what are you guys doing to me, you know? So it made perfect sense, especially after I had that TikTok, and it was just so funny to just like come out and be like, I'm famous now. Like, you know, it has 365,000 views. You know, it's not even in the millions or anything, but I was just, that's where the D minus list celebrity thing came from. But then every like small achievement knocks, you know, a letter grade down, and it just gets like, oh, we're getting there closer and closer.
To the A-list.
Yeah, but don't worry, because then it'll be D plus and then D plus plus, and before I get to anything in the C, and then it'll go right back to C minus, and it's going to take some things for that to happen. So I just kind of was like, I want to be able to do a stream that like I could control, but also have chat control too, like where they're involved directly into the content. And like, yeah, I might give you the base premise, but if chat is going to all of a sudden hijack everything and start turning it on me, you know what I mean? Which always happens. I can't go anywhere. You know, and then I go, how am I the bad guy? You know what I mean? Because I punched Kev once and I kicked him twice. Like that's really it. But sometimes less is more. And the constant reminder every time I'm live and I'm trying to get something across, and like everybody just cuts me off. Like the timeout corner has pretty much been used just by the mods to be like, listen to me, he's not listening, like listen to us. It's like ridiculous. And that's just stuff that I never thought that would happen. You sucker punch. I didn't sucker punch him. He was looking. He could see me in his peripheral view right here. He totally saw me. And he's a professional. He should know better. He's known me for 20 years. And the thing is like, it's also awesome to do stuff with Kev, because Kev's been my friend for 20 years. And now that we're working into like actually having a wrestling match, to where like, you know, I was in that car accident 8 years ago. Like I never thought I'd be able to do anything physical ever again. They told me never to go back to a restaurant, get an office job. Like you might walk funny. Like they didn't know. So like for me to get into the shape that I'm at, which also, you know, like I said, things happen for a reason, you know, and I'm really big on that. Like I'm really big in like trusting my intuition and like kind of just, well, I feel this way, so that's how I feel, you know. I don't necessarily care too much about everything that I do on my stream. Like I think it's just funny with these little first world problems and how people get upset about nothing. Like people are like outrage, like, you know what I mean? So like, so you want to see outrage? I'll show you outrage, like, you know what I mean? Like we'll go. So it's just ridiculous, you know. But to be able to do content with Kev and be able to have a reason for us to wrestle and do that, it's awesome for us. Like I don't care how many views. I don't care if it gets 1 million views. I don't care if it gets 10 views. Like that's for me and him to do. And for the people who know kind of what's going on, to be like, oh, they're really going to have a wrestling match. You know what I mean? And whatever the outcome is, you know, it is the way it is.
Dude, I didn't even know you painted your floors green. Like I've seen your setup. Guys, that setup is like crazy with the whole green screen and everything.
Well, I had to be able to walk back, like, you know what I mean? And walk around. Like,
yeah,
if
you
my
can't
floor
have like
wasn't
the floor
green,
as cloth, yeah.
Yeah, like it is what it is. And like there's like where my chair is, like I kind of have to paint it. Like you kind of can't see it because it's like to here, but I have to paint it again. And honestly, I'm looking and getting those like gym foam puzzle piece blocks to go into themselves, because I'm on the ground a lot. You know, I wait, like the next day I'll be like, my elbows got bruises on them. And I'm like, why? I'm like, oh, because I'm like leaning on the floor like an idiot. And I'm like so full of adrenaline, like, and just like in the moment that I don't even think about it. I just do whatever the sound cues me to go. Like
you get curb stomped too many times by Seth Rollins. Jake Paul be knocking you the hell out. I could only imagine like the pain you be going through.
Oh my God, bro. It honestly just feels like a workout. Like my abs have gotten so strong from fake sitting up and like falling backwards. That's
physically demanding too, like doing all them channel points. Like props to you, man. I would be like sweating the entire time if I was like in your shoes.
I go upstairs and Colleen's like, take a shower.
Like, do you have like I see your towards your face is like brighter. Is like just like a strong light that's shining on you, or
it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights that
okay, yeah, there you
are
go.
everywhere. Yeah. So I have a light here, like, and I have to play with them every once in a while. I got to be careful what I wear. Yeah. I was wearing all red. That kind of doesn't go well with this green screen. I can only wear one part of red, so that's why I'm like switching up like blazers and shirts. But obviously, like, I just want, you know, like all different colored, like crazy shirts. I want to kind of stick it to animal print because, like, you know, like you see me walking, I walk back and forth constantly when I'm walking. It's almost like, you know, a tiger. I'm walking here. So it's like a tiger stalking his prey, right? Like, you know, like I'm the champ. So I gotta be the champ, you know?
Mojo says 5 cameras and 0 real belts.
This is real. Just so you know. Hello.
Is that from the WWE shop? The one you have?
Yeah. Look. Yeah. And it's funny because this is the belt that, like, when we used to backyard wrestle, this is the belt that I held. Like, this was the belt that it was. And funny, Kev bought me this for Christmas. You know, so like it's just like a joke inside a joke of like all the stuff that we've been doing. And like it's like a nod to like all our old friends and stuff like that as well, that we're still going with it. And it's him being the pro, like, Trav, let it go. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm the champ, you know, like, and it's so funny because it's playing off of like, it's kind of reality in a way, but it's not. Like, and I think that's the fun part about it. Like, you know, I grew up watching stuff like George Carlin and Dave Chappelle and like how they would take the reality of a situation and make it funny. And it's funny because it's true. And then it's like absolutely like abstract, right? Like it's just out there too, but it's like, you know, and that's why it's funny because it's kind of true. So like, yeah, like is some of the sentiments a real feeling? Yeah. But like, is it that serious? No. Like it's not that serious. Like, but it's I'm just trying to entertain.
That's how
and
people
also,
play
like,
characters so well too. It's just like they are so invested in it, but also at the same time know like when to play it, when to not.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing. Is like if you ever notice, like when I'm doing this and you're in my stream and like anybody does anything that's like super cool, super nice, like I always try to be like, hey, you know, and like look directly at them and tell them thank you. Because like for me, it's not about like the money, right? Like for me, it's about like just getting to a place where like I could actually have influence over people and like try to teach them the good things. Because I didn't really have that. Like we learned on the fly. I think we all had that, and I think we all had people that were telling us what they thought we should do or what streaming is, and everybody knows what streaming is. Streaming's whatever you want it to be. Like you literally could broadcast a show. And like I have a lot of stuff written down that like I just don't have time to do. And hopefully if I could ever go full time, that I would want to make my platform another platform for other people. Like I would love for people to come on and just shit talk me or try to like, hey, we should join forces or anything to just be side by side. Like, you know, and like I actually have a channel point now that's like guest star, and where it's like you can come and you can try to book yourself into a match with me like something, you know, or you could, you know, like try to join an alliance, try to manage, like whatever idea you have to argue with me or get involved with me, you know, go for it. I'll talk. Like I have no problem. Like I can carry it. Whatever you say, I'm going to go one way or the other with it. And then I have chat right here that's going to be saying some wild stuff. So
trolling the hell out of you.
Yeah. Like it's just gonna go so many different ways. Like I can't even predict it, and I can't even predict myself sometimes. That's the fun of it.
Kitty Meow, welcome in. Dank, welcome in. Mojo, I see you. Somebody ban B Nizzle and Sweet Tweet, please. But yo, B Nizzle, Sweet Tweet, thank you for still being here. Did I miss anybody? Cluster, welcome in. Solon again, I appreciate the resub. Radio Slay, welcome in. I got Gigi Bunny and Colleen's questions coming up next. Shay, welcome in. Somebody snipe Shay, please. King Shark, welcome back as well. For anybody that is coming in, I do apologize if I don't get to say hi to you right away. We are interviewing right now. Look at him, the D-list celebrity himself.
I'll sit on the couch with you, you know, it's couch talk.
Let's go. But yeah, I apologize if I don't get to say hi to you guys right away. We are interviewing IcedTCurtis. If you want to get to know him a little bit more, exclamation point guest in the chat. So you can follow him on his social medias, check out his Twitter, check out his Instagram. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And as you're seeing while we interview him, he's like changing all these different scenes. He's zooming in and out. You see all the craziness he does. That is a normal stream for him. And if you check out the clips down below, you'll also see like a little snippet of what he does. So definitely someone you need to get to know. Okay. GG Bunny, my apologies for the delay. But how many couches have you broken?
I have not broken any couches. These are sturdy. They are reclinable. They're actually two ends of a sectional that I slap together to make sure that they're not too stiff and they can move when I hit them.
There you go.
I don't break the couches.
Especially not on Couch Talk. That's the disrespect if a couch breaks on Couch Talk.
Nah, you can't do that. Especially this one. Like, you think I got this at IKEA? I mean, come on now. I mean, what do you think here?
IKEA's god tier, by the way. I haven't been there in years, but like the meatballs are probably the only reason I'd go again. Or if I need a new desk. The Swedish meatballs are so freaking good.
Oh my god.
Next question is from Colleen. Will there be an IcedTCurtis versus Pleepy versus JLD versus Kev fatal 4-way match at TwitchCon 2?
Kev's not going at TwitchCon. What? He's not going. Why would he go? Why would he go? I mean, Pleepy doesn't want to be near me again. Trust me. Trust that.
Triple threat match, winner takes all.
Oh my god. How much is the bank on that? Or we gonna gamble on that?
Let's just see.
Don't bet against me. Don't bet against me.
Well, you know, now WWE is gonna try and start doing betting. It's like, bro, it's scripted content. How are you gonna make bets on that? Like, it's not like it's random.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, honestly. Like, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know how they're gonna do that because it's scripted. Like, it's not a real fight. It's not UFC. Like, it's not boxing. Yeah. You can't do that. Like, you know, like I don't know how that's gonna work, but that be prepared for some like crazy people to win like the Royal Rumble that you would never think.
Yeah,
the odds are gonna be ridiculous. Yeah,
they're gonna make sure people bet on the wrong people, so that way.
Because all they could do is like on Raw, they could just be like, "Oh, your Royal Rumble shot is on the line against somebody that you know is gonna beat them and go to WrestleMania."
They'll put a jobber versus Braun Strowman or something. Imagine Dinkwell.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's not gonna work. But I mean, go ahead. I seem crazy.
Draga says do it in the octagon at the MGM Grand. We do our match there.
You want to get my fight gloves on? I mean, I need some ropes. You know, I need to bounce off the ropes a little bit. You know, it's not strategic if I can't get that agility boost. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I might got a little.
By God.
Yeah, I'm not jumping off the top of the cage. That's a little bit higher than the top rope. You know, like, gotta be careful here. Trying to have longevity. We're not trying to just, you know, do a bunch of flips and stuff.
Be a high flyer, kick ass, and then injured. Rainy, welcome in. How are you doing? How's the rest of your stream, by the way? Dank, what is with the strike 1, strike 2, strike 3?
He's trying to strike because I have the strikes on my stream, like from Family Feud, strike 1, 2, and 3.
That's what it was. The freaking Family Feud. He was doing that Friday. We were in a VC watching you, and I was freaking crying when he was doing that.
It's so ridiculous. Like, I can't even say anything, and it just makes me have to talk louder. So, like, if anybody's listening outside of my house, they probably think I'm nuts because I'm just yelling in a room, like in the basement. You know, Colleen says it sounds crazy from, you know, down here, but.
Are you ever going to fix the canceled command?
What, 2 L's?
Yes.
Look it up. Google it right now. They're both right. That's why I didn't change it. That's why I didn't change it. It says 2 L's on the thing, but whatever. It is what it is. I looked at it, it said they're both right. So I was like, okay, whatever. They're both right. It's like blonde. Does it have an E? Doesn't it? Does it? And it doesn't matter.
I think I've typed exclamation point canceled like 25 times, like probably even more than that. And I forget every single time that it's 1L. And then I'm like, why the hell isn't my command working? I'm thinking there's a cooldown. I'm thinking there's like something wrong with what I'm doing, but nah, remove 1L. And then all of a sudden the stamp works. The stamp of approval.
Yeah. No, not approval. It's like the opposite of approval stamp. Everybody was getting canceled at the time. It just seemed appropriate that I would get canceled. That you know, just makes sense.
Cancel JLD, imagine. Ice-T has Adam Cole and Seth Rollins vibes. I could see that. I could see that a little bit, especially with the hair. And Rainey says you have a great radio voice, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, with the hair definitely helps a little bit. It also helps me. Like, I thought about cutting my hair short again because it used to be short.
Oh shit!
I was like, I kind of can't. Yeah, because it's hot. It gets a little hot and it's long. But I bet against it because it just looks better as like I get disheveled and more disheveled as time goes on in my stream. Like, it shows like the progression of me becoming absolutely donezo. So,
how long did it take to grow your hair what it is now?
I think the last time I cut my hair was 2018.
Okay. So about
so it's like
5 years.
Almost.
Man, that was 5 years ago, 2018. Doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. I've just been kind of consistently growing it out.
Shady, welcome in.
It might be 2019 actually. Yeah, I think I got it cut on the sides, and then last time I like shaved my head. Like, I used to have that like 1-2 shape up, round in the back. Hit my eyebrows type of. You do the little chin strap. We used to do that, and I did that for years. So I kind of was just like, grow my hair out. Like, I have hair, so I might as well grow it out.
Yeah, that was the same with me back in like 2018, 2019 time. I kept my hair growing, but I would always do tape ups on the side and then just fix up the beard. And I think the longest it got was probably just like a few, like maybe like 2-3 inches, nothing crazy. So like people who grow their hair like to what you have, and like friends of mine also have long hair. Like I just can't imagine like managing that amount of hair. It just gets wild.
It's hard to manage a little bit, but it is what it is. You got to wake up earlier, brush it, and put product in it. Like, my hair is so thick that I have to like spray it completely down, and it still doesn't work. Like, I use like a 48-hour hold and it still comes out, especially when I'm streaming. Like, I try to spray it all the way down. It does not matter. That stuff just starts flowering out and just comes out real quick.
I was even at one point putting the hair gel on my head, trying to be like a spiky flick back hairstyle. But I don't know. After a year, I was like, nah, I'm just too used to the short hair. I like not having to deal with it. I'll just shave my beard, like not shave, but like shape up my beard, cut the hair off, and it's just simple for me. Like, compared to having to manage like every 2-3 weeks having to deal with like my hair, and it gets expensive too with like haircuts and all that.
Oh yeah. Like I said, like I was getting the same haircut. Like, every time it would get to like a 3 or a 4, I would go to get my haircut constantly. Now I just trim it. That's really it. You just cut off the dead ends and call it a day. I don't really need to do anything crazy.
King Shark, I see your question. You don't have to keep putting the channel request. I see it. We just haven't gotten to it yet. Shaichi, I appreciate the 10 biddies. You see what's next. IcedTCurtis, Fatal 4-Way, Cambo Combo. The next question: what is your favorite wrestling moment if you had one?
Oh man, there's so many, dude. Like, there's a lot of great wrestling moments. There's a lot of bad ones too. I always tell everybody, when wrestling's good, it's the fucking best. But when it's bad, it's the fucking worst. So like, I kind of get people's gripes with it sometimes. There's so many crazy things that, like, I remember being 8 years old and watching Goldberg beat Hollywood Hogan like live on Nitro, like, and how loud that was, like, and like, selfishly myself, like, I've been to 2 Royal Rumbles, I've been to 2 WrestleManias.
Nice.
Like, the energy in that, like, just being in that atmosphere was just like, it just transcended. Like, you just felt it. Like, you got energy yourself. You know what I mean? I found myself excited all the time. Like Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar, maybe on TV wasn't all that, but live, man, oh my God, it was like SmackDown versus Raw. Everybody just has all their finishers and they just come out blazing, and it was nuts. And like just to hear that sound like constantly. You know, I watched Ronda Rousey wrestle her first match. I watched her debut at the Rumble. I watched the first Women's Royal Rumble. I watched Brock versus Seth versus John Cena at the Rumble in 2015.
Damn.
I saw that Roman one where The Rock came out, he got booed. I was at that one. There's so many moments. As a kid, my worst moment was when Bret Hart took the super kick from Shawn Michaels into the wheelchair, and I was just disgusted because I'm such a Bret guy. It's not even funny. I didn't even like Shawn Michaels until like 2002. Like until he came back, I hated his guts because it was just the opposite of Bret Hart, and Bret was my guy. I never understood why nobody didn't like him. Like he'd be even when he was running down America talking about Canada, I was like, he's right. They don't have to unlock their doors in Canada, and they got free health care. You know?
I'm right.
Yeah. It was just so like it was so crazy. Yeah. Oh man, like I was such a Bret guy. That's the only reason I even watched WCW to begin with, because Bret went there, and I was a Bret guy. But I've always been more of a WWE guy over any other wrestling promotion. Not that I don't like respect it, but it's like for me, like when I'm watching wrestling, like that's the best production. Like that's the best way that they're ever gonna put a hype package together. So, I mean, I watched, you know, Mankind get tossed from the cell live when I was 8, and my mom looked at me and was like, hey, you can't fake that. You know, like, what are we doing? You know? So there's a ton of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Bret didn't want to lose. It's such an ego. Oh my God.
That's basically what it was, though. Not really. I don't think it was an ego thing because I never really thought of it that way, like from a business perspective.
Shawn said he wouldn't lose to him. He said, I appreciate that. I wouldn't do the same for you. That's why he didn't do it. But then he got screwed. But I mean, he's more probably famous from that than anything now.
And then Bret punched, I think, Vince in the face, from what I understand, or was it Shawn that he punched?
He punched Vince. Yeah, he punched Vince.
There you go.
Legend, bro. Who punches the boss like that?
He takes balls to do that. I will say straight up. Sarge Seth, welcome in. Zero Cool. Thank you for still being here, and King Shark and Rex Shot, welcome in as well.
Oh yeah.
And then to add to that question, I know Zero Cool asked this question already, but there was a second part to Zero Cool's question. Favorite all-time wrestler?
Oh man, it's hard, man. Like the 5-year-old in me says Bret Hart. The teenager in me and like the, you know, going into like 9-10 years old says Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like just like all day long. Like I didn't even like The Rock until like Austin took like time off to get that bone spur fixed.
Right.
And then even like I used to hate John Cena until like I wasn't a teenager anymore, and I love him. Like I get it. Like I go back and watch like all that stuff, and I love him. I used to hate Hulk Hogan. I love him now. Like going back and just watching how they connect with the crowd, regardless of what it is. And I think like it's underrated theater, right? Like wrestling it doesn't get credit for that, like to really pull you in. Like when it pulls you in, it draws you in, and you can feel it, and like that energy is real, and like to make you buy into something that you know. It's like, it's the same thing with movies. Movies do the same thing, but like that live thing, like, so I mean, if I'm gonna go all time, like I'm always gonna say Bret Hart. Like it's just me as a kid, what made me love wrestling. Obviously Stone Cold Steve Austin. I remember seeing him. I saw him have a beer drinking contest with MVP with Matt Hardy in his corner at SummerSlam in 2006. Nice. And that show was terrible. It was not good. Everybody was hurt. Nobody was there. It was Triple H's return match after he blew out his other hamstring at like right before WrestleMania that Shawn Michaels wrestled John Cena. So that SummerSlam he had come back, and then Shawn was hurt, so he wasn't there. So Rey Mysterio came back. He did like the Silver Surfer thing, and he wrestled Chavo Guerrero for like 400th time. But when Austin, yeah, literally the 400th time. And then when that glass broke, I didn't even hear his music anymore. Like it was the loudest thing I've ever heard. Like you just heard the glass break, and everybody knew he was there.
Everybody goes crazy. That's literally how it is with him all the time.
And it was like the world's worst secret, right? Because like Saturday Night Main Event, when they were still doing that, like Matt Hardy had the box of Evander Holyfield. So they were like, you know, since you subbed out, yeah. And I was, dude, as soon as that glass broke, Austin didn't even do a damn thing. He didn't say one word. He got in the ring, grabbed the beers, gave one to MVP, took like 5, gave him another one, took the whole case, did jumping jacks, hit the ropes, like ran the ropes a couple times, went down, did some push-ups, got up, cheers the beer, gave him the stunner, and it was the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I was just like, when you're over, man, you're over. And he's just one of those guys that it's like, there's just nobody else like him, no matter what they do.
We love My Name Isn't Curtis. What up, Camp?
Yeah.
Somebody ban Camp, please. Katniss, welcome in. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. Well, late night for you. I appreciate you being here. Joe's Claps, welcome in. Camp, what is going on, my dude? I have to agree with Rex Shot. And actually, let me ask you this, because Solon asked us in the chat. Which WrestleManias did you go to?
I went to the one in Orlando, so it was at 33 when they did like their whole title thing and they won all the titles. And then the one right after that in New Orleans. So, and they were both great, you know, like they were both really good. I can't say like that. Like I said, the Goldberg Brock Lesnar match is always going to stand out for me because it was like everybody wanted Goldberg to lose too. Like, it's funny, like nobody wanted Goldberg to win. Nobody really wanted Undertaker to win either. And like, I felt sad. I didn't stay for him putting his boots and stuff. I was like, he's coming back next year. And what do you know?
For sure.
You know, I was like, Undertaker ain't going out like that. You know, like it was such like he just didn't know where he was, like, and it was sad to see. But like I think he ended it right, like the way he wrestled, way he did that with AJ Styles, and I think that was a really nice
Boneyard match.
Wait for him to go off, which, you know, AJ Styles is savage too. Can't wait till he comes back.
And I was gonna ask that question too, because I've only been to one WrestleMania, and it was at MetLife. So I figured, I was like, maybe he's been to the one at MetLife, because, you know, New Jersey and stuff.
No, imagine that the tickets were cheaper in New Orleans and like Florida.
I drove with all like the flight and you drove down there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say
I didn't fly until
was your first flight.
Yes, it was.
So then how does that compare, like in terms of pricing? Was it cheaper going down there and then paying for the gas and hotel out there than it would be to?
Yeah, well, because then I made a vacation out of it. I went to Miami and then I drove. And then the other time I was like, well, I don't really want to spend that much time in New Orleans. Like once Bourbon Street's over, you know, like I really, like if you're into French architecture, I guess if you'd like to do that, but you know, like not a seafood eater or, you know, so I was like, we might as well stay a day, go to WrestleMania, and then take a drive through the deep South, you know, on the way home, which was nice. You know, I like that perspective, you know, being, you know, a city boy, you know, everything loud noises and buses and taxis and people yelling and banging doors and bars and, you know, loud. And then you just go, wow, this is miles and miles and miles and miles, rolling hills and grasslands.
It's literally
perspective. Yeah. It's crazy. So like, it was like killing kind of two birds with one stone. Like, you know, it was
for sure.
It was crazy to be in the Superdome, because then I go, okay, I checked that off the list. Like I've been to the Saints Stadium, you know, like there wasn't a bad seat in the house. You can see the ring from anywhere you were at. So that was cool. Nice. And so I got to witness it in like a big stadium like that was closed. And I got to see it when it was wide open. And I guess it was Camping World Stadium, like the old Orange Bowl.
Don't like seafood. I'm offended, sir. Someone hit that man with a Big Show slap to the chest.
Don't do it. I don't need the frying pan. I don't need a frying pan slap, bro. No thank you.
Seafood is the ish. What a weirdo. Camp says the 305 because Miami.
I love Miami. I wish I would have lived there for a little bit. Like South Beach, oh man, dude, I just love it. I could just walk around all day. It's like the perfect thing, like perfect place for someone who grew up in an urban area. It's like, this is tropical and nice, but also like it's still a city. So like, bro, it's familiar.
We're just too used to the cold up here that any chance we could get to go down there, go to the beach, go jet skiing, go hang out on like the Ocean Drive, definitely take a trip down there. I've been like, I think I've been like 3 or 4 times down to Miami. Like the missus and I always go, and it's always a good time.
I love it. I love it. It's such a good time. It's so much fun. I don't care what it's expensive. It's expensive here. Like for us,
exactly.
It's like,
yeah,
it's expensive in New York. It's expensive in New Jersey.
You're not gonna get like similar. A different deal unless you're like going to somewhere like, I don't know, West Virginia or something, where like you pay rent in like freaking cows and corn or something.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. So, King Shark, I got your question now. So, what do you think of the WrestleMania cards for this year, for this coming Saturday, Sunday?
So, I think they're built really well. Like, I'm invested in a lot of those matches. Like, there's some that I don't even know the outcome. Probably the least I'm excited for is Bianca versus Asuka. I feel like I should be more invested into that, but I just don't like the way they built that. Everything else has been such a good build over months, and like you could tell the storytelling is there again, because it's like, who cares if two people fight, right? It's why they're fighting, which makes it anybody care, because the moves are one thing and we know that, but why they're fighting and like being able to draw me in. Yeah, like I think the card is really, really good. You know what I mean? And so like I'm excited to watch both days. Like as to like one of the years, I think it was the year that it was coming out of COVID, and like I was kind of like, like some of the matches really good. Like Sasha Banks and Bianca killed that match. Like that was really good. But also the Brock Lesnar almost fight is stupid. Yeah, but you know,
I agree.
Every once in a while, you know, it's going to be interesting to watch Brock pick him up and throw him around. It's really for Brock to beat this guy. Like, just give him a big dude to beat. Yeah, it's going to be 5 minutes. You're going to be happy for the length that it is and what you see, and we're going to move on. You know,
I just hope it's not a squash match. Like I hope at least Omos fights back, and it isn't just Brock carrying him, doing one F5, and then the match is over. Like we already kind of see it as like a stupid match. I don't want it to end as a stupid match.
I could see him grabbing him by the throat and like pushing him over each rope, and like him just like landing and be like, damn, and then getting in there, and then just like, you know, he throws him into the buckle and he tries to run at him, and then he hits the buckle and he bounces off, and now he's in German Suplex City for about a couple of minutes, and then he goes for an F5, and then he reverses it into his finish, and then he hits his finish. Brock kicks out, 2 F5s, call it a day. You know, calling it. We're watching a lot of wrestling.
I'm excited for WrestleMania, guys. Ola, I appreciate the resub for 17 months. Let's freaking go. Get a shout out for Ola going. Ola, welcome in. I wanted to do a watch party on Discord with it, but I don't have the Peacock app on like as my own account. I currently watch it on my brother-in-law's account in the living room. That's the only way I'm able to watch it. But it would be cool to like do something with like the streaming and all that. But you know, yeah, I feel like for that maybe it's different to just have that separate and just watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah, certain things I kind of just, you know, I'd rather just enjoy it and not have to worry about it.
The content and all that, just like sit down for a bit and enjoy it.
Yeah, you know, take a load off.
So the last question before I ask one of my questions is Zero Cool asks, what's your name?
What's my name?
Yeah.
Like my actual name?
Yeah.
My real name is Travis. That's where the T.
What's your name?
Zero, I hope you're still here, bro. I did that for you. I have this on my stream deck. That was not planned at all. I was like, as soon as I saw it doesn't matter what your name is, I was like, let me pull up the stream deck real quick. Let me play that button. Let me add a little bit extra to it.
Well, unbelievable. Why are all the clips of me looking stupid all the time? It's unbelievable.
As an RKO place.
Yeah, literally.
All right. I'm sorry. I had to do it. It was freaking hilarious.
It's fine. Whatever.
Next question. What up, Prime? What's going on, my dude? RKO IcedTCurtis, let him know. Tell us about the graveyard scene in your stream and what inspired that. That's one of my questions for you.
All right. So the graveyard thing. Okay. So it has changed a little bit. It's not Prime. It's changed a little bit over time. So pretty much it's the ice cream truck redemption, right? Because I had the ice cream truck. It was one of my first original green screen things with it was like the warp, the conference table, and that. And it had no sound. It was just me in like a box, like in the window. And then I was selling ice cream. And then they asked for ice cream that I didn't have, you know? So like eventually then, you know, we started playing the music and then we started getting a close up on it. And they would riot in my chat. Like eventually Vanadian would make her made a riot emote and they would riot and they started flipping the truck. And then somebody, Lefty TV made a thing in his channel where like if you could flip me in the truck for a little while, like, and it had like an odds thing, so like, and then you would like win like a wheel spin or something, that it would like flip my ice cream truck upside down with me in it. It's ridiculous. And it got to the point when once I moved my setup for the 4th time and then got more room to stand up, I was like, I'm gonna start coming out and defending it, you know, like get out of here, like get shush, like go, you don't want my ice cream, then get out of here. Times are rough, distributor lines are rough right now. They, you know, and the big thing that they want, it was post-COVID, you know, so like it was real life. This is really happening. Like people running out of stuff, you know, the supply chains were low. So eventually, because they were rioting and flipping the truck so much that all of a sudden now my truck's on fire on cinder blocks, and there's a caution, do not cross this line tape all around everywhere, and they ruined it. And it burned for like 2 or 3 months. And then it was gone. I couldn't save it. I couldn't do anything for it. And there was nothing. And then it had to go to the Twitch graveyard with all the other dead concepts and unoriginal things. And I just literally, and I hate going there because it shouldn't even be there. Like it shouldn't be with those things. Like this thing should flourish. This was a good thing. And they put it with all the bad things like Trovo and Hover and support for support and pineapple on pizza, bro, and all right, and Warzone Customs.
It's over. Interview's over. See you later.
Pineapple I'm just saying. On pizza. Listen, whether it does or not, it's just a dead talking point. That's all I'm saying. Like you could like it or you could not like it. Right. It's just a dead talking point.
I got you. Everybody uses it. Basically, it's like the default concept for engagement.
Yeah, they saw LJ do it on Stream Scheme in a video, and then everybody just goes to it.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think when I first started streaming, I used that as one of my first like just chatting streams. It was like, pineapple belongs on pizza. Prove me wrong. I think that was one of my very first just chatting streams.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Thank you for the 1 year follow age.
1 year follow age, yeah.
I have follow age, but you will never see watch time on this channel. I'll tell you that at least. There's no watch time. Anybody can try it in chat. It's gone. There's none of that here. That goes in the cemetery with the Warzone customs and support for support and hover and all that stuff too in Trovo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, like I'm just saying we might be loading up a casket for Kick. I don't know. We might be getting it ready just for evidence. I'm just saying.
Prime says pick a number from 1 to 10.
1 to 10? 8.
Yes.
8.
Yo, your stream had me dying though with everybody saying, "Oh, but you got a Kick account. Like, why are you talking all this crap?"
Of course, I have my name secured. You never know. Of course.
Graveyard. Yo, that graveyard thing be having me dying, bro. I want to see what's next. After Kick is like gone in the grave, if it is ever gone in the grave, it just makes me look forward to what's going to be on the next headstone the entire time. Let them know, Zero Cool. That's facts.
You know, we just like to be prepared. You know, we don't like to, you know, it's like, what is everybody doing? Okay. Every day somebody hosts Warzone Customs and like, so I just thought it was funny because like, you know, there's a couple people where the numbers were like outrageous and it was like you had 20 people in the lobby and I was just like, well, that's funny, right? Because like it's like everybody like, oh, let's get in here, like come on, there's a lot of people in here, and then nobody's in there. Like, so it was just funny to me. And I was one of the people playing. Like I would play the Warzone customs with everybody, but then there was like Warzone customs every single day. And then it was like, I thought about putting Fall Guys customs in there, but then I figured that like Fall Guys still kind of fun every once in a while. I don't think they like drag that through the mud, but Warzone customs, bro.
Good thing you didn't put Fortnite customs. I would have been like, at me next time.
Oh no, Fortnite customs, like it I don't know. That's completely different for whatever reason. Like that's more fun. Like everybody was like so serious about Call of Duty, yeah. So I just thought it was funny to do that. Like we're all gonna do this. Like, I mean, damn, I can only play so many video games as it is.
Dude, I played a few of those COD customs games. First of all, I suck at COD. I'm like literally the worst when it comes to Call of Duty. The last game I was probably all right, like decent at, was Modern Warfare 2 back in the day. Like not even the new one that came out, the 2009 version on the Xbox. Those were the days.
Yeah, the last Call of Duty I was actually good at was Ghost for PS3. That was the last time I was like really good. Yeah, like it was a long time ago. Like I really mained the zombies for a long time. Like I love zombies. Like I wish people still had like the old ones for like Xbox and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
man. Those
Black
were
Ops 3, where it has like all of them. Oh, it's so much fun. Like I could play that forever. Like I love zombies. Like I don't care how mindless it is. Like just me getting a thunder gun and just being like,
yeah,
woof, woof, like just knocking everybody around. Like
they had the what was it called? The Wonder Waffle? Which was that blue one where it like did like electric on all of the people that were in a line. Pink Umbrella, welcome in. How are you doing today? Cluster, thank you for still being here. World at War was fire, by the way. That was probably the first one I played. And if you pre-ordered Black Ops 1, you get the original 3 maps from World at War in Black Ops 1.
Yeah, no, it was so good. And like I even liked the online because it wasn't like nobody had like a machine gun. Like everybody had this like like musket and like boom and had to like load it, and then like it wasn't just like, oh, you saw me, I died. It was like, no, you got one shot, and if you missed that, oh man, I used to string together kills so much with the bouncing betties, like, and people would just like curse me out, but like, man, fuck them.
The last Black Ops map that I remember that was actually fun because they made a few, but only some of them were fun, was Ascension. With
that's my favorite one. Yeah, with the space monkeys and stuff.
Yep, exactly.
Oh my god, it's my favorite one. That's my favorite one. I would just take lander to lander and leave one of the shut, like from the first room up the stairs. I would leave those doors shut, and I would just take landers to landers and just keep going to just keep luring them back. And that was the best way that it was.
Dude, there were so many glitches on it. Like Prime said, that had like the Easter eggs for the song if you wanted to play the secret song. It was such a different time.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It was so much fun. Like I could play zombies. Like honestly, like I could smoke and play zombies like for hours and I would not have any problems. Like I even like Advanced Warfare. Like there was one it was one of the last maps in that game, but like you got this gun called the Trident, and like you could literally bounce like the bullets off the room, and like it would just take out. Yeah, it was nuts. Like you had the jetpacks in that, but it made it so much more fun because they gave you infected zombies where like you can get infected and it can kill you, and you get the exosuit and like you can punch through people. Yeah, the game was trash. The zombies was fun. Go play that one on zombies. It was good. Trust me, I played it a lot. And I got to like, we would just be me and one other person. We get like to around like 40, and it was like we did that for literal months.
I think Advanced Warfare was the last, besides Modern Warfare 2 for PC, because I did buy that. But Advanced Warfare was the last Call of Duty game besides that I actually purchased, and that was because I bought my PS4 for the first time. That was like 6 years ago or something like that. I bought the PlayStation Plus, and I did decent for a little bit, but I think after a while, I just got tired of it. Too much COD. Like, COD has just been everywhere at that point. It changed a lot. The zombies were different. So I switched to Fortnite. And I've just been like that. JLD's like 45 years old, imagine.
No, it's like I said, like I used to have fun playing, the story modes and stuff. But then as they started getting more like ridiculous, like I kind of, if like you had zombies, I played it, and then otherwise not really. And then it wasn't until like the blackout happened that I really started playing again.
That was the pre-Warzone, right?
Yeah, that was like, I think it was like 48 people could be in that.
Oh wow.
And
okay.
it was fun. It was fun. Like I had a good time playing it. Like at the time, like it was Fortnite, it was PUBG, and PUBG was like janky. Like, you know, like I felt like I was shooting like threes, like two, like I had to like really shoot like a rainbow shot to get somebody. It was like ridiculous. And like I couldn't see anything that well because it was on Xbox and it was better played on PC. And I didn't buy a PC till I started streaming. I was like, wow, I need a PC. This laptop is going to blow up if I keep trying to do what I'm doing. So
I only played PUBG one time and I got 5th place. I think I got like 2 or 3 kills or something like that. And I remember it vaguely, but
get those
I don't know.
chicken
It wasn't
dinners.
something that I was too interested in. Like I tried to play it. It was third person, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So it was just one of those, like, I like Fortnite as third person, but PUBG as third person wasn't hitting for me.
Yeah, they switched over, and you were able to do first person in that too. But like I said, I just nah. Like if I'm gonna play a shooter like that, it's gonna be Call of Duty. Like that's just the way it is. Like that's the standard. Yeah. Honestly, for like regular weapon gunplay, like I think that's the game. But you know, like there's other games out there. Like, you know, I know people play Apex and Overwatch and stuff like that. I'm just not good at those games.
I forgot about Apex.
Yeah, I'm just not good at those games. Like I tried the new Halo when it came out. It was fun for a little bit, but like Splitgate, I had a lot of fun with because it reminded me of old Halo, like Halo 2 vibes for me. Like, you know, with just a little Portal aspect. Like I had fun with that for a little while.
I forgot about Portal as well.
Yeah, man, some of these older games, bro, like they're just fun to play. Like, you know, like you don't have to play them all the time, but when you pop them in, like that's why I like having like all these retro games that I have, because they're just fun. Like, oh, I haven't either beaten this in a while or I never beat this. Like, let me try to, let me see. And it's like all goofy because it's old. Like, you know, like so it's like fun to play. And it's nostalgic.
Game, yeah.
And like playing
Splitgate.
stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Splitgate was fun. I played that. That might be the second game. Like, obviously my stuff is like just chatting for the most part of like my like if you look at like my hours, but Splitgate is like second. Like, because I played Splitgate a lot because we would just get lobbies and I hated it because Bleepy just would like we would turn gravity off and like play ridiculous rules, and no matter how high up in the sky, for some reason Bleepy was able to headshot you with a laser like literally 10 million miles in the sky, and it was like ridiculous. But I still played. But it was just like I just get shot and like I don't even know where you are. Like you're in a portal looking this way up here and you're shooting me and I don't even see you. So it became not fun. I
played it for a little bit when I first started streaming, and I liked it for a little bit. But I think when you first play, like you're in the easy lobbies, so you get the easy kills. You're like, oh snap, I can start playing this game. I think I'm good at this. Then you get into the real matchmaking, and then you get your ass beat. And you're just like, screw this, like I'm done.
Yeah, it was a little rough, but it was fun. It was definitely fun to play for a couple hours. Not something that you play like all the time, but it was definitely fun to play for a couple hours with like a bunch of people, you know, and like, you know, just fuck around. Like, and we had fun playing it. Like even just like putting just bats on, like, and putting the speed all the way up and like no jumping. Like, so just running around with bats and like, I don't know. It was just a lot of fun to do that.
Do you have a Nintendo Switch?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is it like, and then what Prime is saying is something that I noticed too. I think I saw online about like Nintendo 64. You could play the games on there now. Like they're porting all their N64 games to. Is it is it like that online thing, like what they do with Super Nintendo?
Yeah, it's extra money for that and Sega, but paid for it. I paid for it. Yeah, it's part of the online package.
Yeah, you pay like what, $8 for the month or something like that, or even less.
I think it's a little bit more I think it's a little bit more expensive for the new one. Yeah, for to have all of them, I think it's a little bit more expensive because I think because they had to pay Sega that it costed them a little bit. Gotcha. But like all those games on there, I have for N64. Like me and Colleen both have an N64. We have one down in the basement here, and then we have one up in the living room.
I have one in the living room. I have the HDMI cable, like adapter and everything, and I have all my games.
It's right here.
Pokemon Stadium, the Mario parties, and I think even like Diddy Kong Racing and shit like that. Like, and then Super Mario games and all that.
Yeah, do you want to? This is what video games used to look like when I first started playing them. There you go,
the Super Nintendo.
You know what I mean?
No, that's NES, right?
Yeah, this is Gremlins.
Gremlins, sheesh.
And I never beat that shit either. This shit's hard. It's hard. Gizmo and everybody's a gremlin. It's like really hard and it's annoying because I should be able to beat the game. It's like 6 stages.
That I think Pink Umbrella is
Nintendo
NES, the original NES.
Yeah, like Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers and stuff.
Do you have the Duck Hunt gun? I know you have it in your channel points, but do you actually have it still? Let's go.
yeah, I do. Hell yeah. Of course I do. I used to be so good at Duck Hunt that I had a mirror on the wall that ducks when I was little. It'd just be like and just a light gun, so you could just shoot it into that and it would get the thing. It's so fun to do it that way. Couldn't do it with the discs as much.
My dad had the Power Glove, I think, with the.
I had that too. It
did not work. And everything.
It did not work.
That was different technology back then.
That's mainly why. Like they were
definitely pushing forward for the future.
It was 3 adapters. Like, I mean, they kind of kept the same concept with the Wii, right? Like, where it was like they had the thing, but like they had like 3 things, so like you could move across the screen and down, so like it would know where you are. But it was just, it still didn't work. Like if you like stuff on like the old stuff like that, watch like old Angry Video Game, like yeah, you'll get it. Like it's some funny stuff, and he talks about all that stuff back when the original YouTube stuff started coming out.
Yeah,
I mean, he still has a following, but it's a little different now because YouTube's different now. But
there's a game, there's a store you can go to for all my New Yorkers out there. I mean, if you're a gamer, you may know about it, maybe not. It's called Video Games New York. That's down on 6th Street or something like that, down by St. Mark's Place. All the retro games you can think of, all the old consoles are there for sale, whether they're used, brand new in box. They got like N64s still brand new in box. I think they even have like a copy of Super Mario 64 still in the box, like unopened. It's like, and it's crazy how expensive they get because of like the cost. They had also like a Linux edition of the PS2 that they use for development.
That's crazy.
It's insane how they acquire that, but for my tech people out there, that is something you can actually buy if you were that into it.
That's crazy. I love that. That's like the old like EB games, like back in the day. Like when you used to get stuff. I used to be like, yeah, I want this. It's $3. Now all those retro games are like, oh, it's a classic. Earthbound is $240, and I'm like, damn. Like I just want to play it. Like, why is it that much? Why can't I just play Chrono Trigger? Like, why do I got to pay $180 for it?
It makes people want to do the ROMs too, instead of like actually playing the cartridges with the cost of like, it's like it costs more for the game than it is to actually get the console and like the adapters if needed and cables. For the Sega Genesis at one point, I had bought the, because what was it, RCA or something, RC cable, or
you have
some kind of cable to
the
cable box. You got to put the channel 3. I had to get a converter, so it went to the red, yellow, white.
Yeah, and then convert that to HDMI.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then
I got
even
all that
after
stuff,
getting even after getting all that, it still ended up dying on me.
Yep.
After all that purchase. But it lived its life for sure.
So what I did was I bought a console from China. It's called the Retro Freak, and you just get like a SD disc, like you would for your Switch. You put it in the back of it, and you just put your cartridge into it, and it saves to the thing in like 2 seconds because it's like such an easy port.
Cool.
And it's for Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, Sega Masters, Famicom, Super Famicom, TurboGrafx 16, and a couple other things. And I think you can get adapters for other stuff, but it just saves your game there. And like how you would, like, if you're in the middle of a game and you're like, oh, I got to stop playing, like it saves your spot no matter what.
Yeah.
So like you could always just go right back. It goes right, and there's 10 for each game, and it's just like unlimited. I have like 170 games in there, and it's just like I don't have to like put the alcohol in the into the cartridge and blow in it and try to load it up in the NES because there's like a defect in it that's always been there. So it'd always be hard to do that. But now I just can play my games like real quick and call it a day, and it's all HDMI, and I have all the controllers and stuff. So yeah, it's always fun to go back and play those games.
Does it dump the ROM too, or is it just for the save states? Like you play from the cartridge?
No, like what you can, as soon as you load the cartridge in and it saves, you take the cartridge out. You never need the cartridge again.
Jeez, that's crazy.
So I was thinking about going to one of these old. I just ordered. I found it like I was like, there's got to be something that like I could play everything on because I saw like the Raspberry Pi and like all that stuff. And I was like, how are they doing that? And then I found this thing, and I took, I don't know, I want to say like 2 months to get to me. But like China, once I got it, like I just, and I literally sat there. They sent it down the river, and then, it's like it kind of came. So it went down the trade routes. And what happened was like I literally sat there for like an hour and a half and just in load out, like literally instant, like because they're so small. They're only like 8 bits and 16 bits. Some of them are like 32 if they have like the Donkey Kongs and the Super Mario RPGs, like they're like 32 because they got like the super card in there or whatever. But other than that, they still, the Game Boy Advance game took a little bit of time to get in there because now I have all the Pokemons on here. If I ever want to go and just play Pokemon, like I just go load right into it and have different save states. And obviously you can't trade or whatever, but like who cares? Like I have Lugia, I got Lugia. I just kill everybody. And for Alligator, Ice Punch, dead. Like that's it.
Like just use a Game Shark and hack the battle.
Yeah, the Game Shark used to be fun, man. I remember GameCheats.com.
is in the building, guys. Welcome in, Pleepy.
What's up, Pleepy?
King Shark, the sounds aren't gonna work. I turned them off during the interview just so it's not like spammy. Like people don't spam like all the stuff in the chat and all the overlays. But once the interview's over, I will be turning them back on. All right. Let me get to the questions that people had. There are 3 questions. More towards the wrestling side of things. Which comeback gave you the biggest buzz or shock? And that is a question from Zero Cool.
The best comeback? Like just ever?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Like the best comeback ever. Oh my God. That's hard. There's a lot of great comebacks, like Royal Rumble and everything, like just people just coming back in general. Edge in the Royal Rumble probably was probably like I didn't know that. No, like nobody knew. I don't think that he was coming back, but that was like no shot. He's back. Like he had to retire. Like, that was crazy. Daniel Bryan always felt like he would come back, and I watched his comeback match, which was dope. At WrestleMania with Shane or whatever it was, like the fight Sammy and Kevin
when he was cleared,
and it was like with the second that like he got touched, I was like, oh no, like he's coming back. And they're like, watch out, and they're selling the neck and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is so real. Like
that you got messed up right away, but that's a good
Rock coming back was crazy. When I saw him come back the first time, after UFC, I was like, oh shit, like he's legit, like like he's a legit guy, but there's so many comebacks that I probably can't think of like right off the top of my head, but those and the Hardy Boys, seeing them come back, even though I knew they were coming back, like like Kev had like a little insight of where they were going, and they were in Orlando, and then somebody texted Kev while we were in the stands, like WWE limo just picked them up. They're like, oh, it's not gonna be the New Day, it's gonna be them. Like so, like we just were like, it was crazy to see that happen as well. Short-lived, but it was cool.
They did, and the New Day did like a little walk too, acting like they were gonna like walk down the ring, and then all of a sudden you hear the music and the crowd went crazy.
It was nuts, and it was just like Jeff's like, oh, I'm just gonna jump off another ladder.
Nothing big. Course. Done this 20,000 times in all different types of promotions.
Mm-hmm.
Crash over right, my dude.
You know they call it the crouton bomb now because of how stiff it is.
Oh my lord.
True story. True story. It's not the swanton, it's the crouton.
But dude, like, how do they like obviously the ladders aren't like as steel as they try to promote them, but like anything can go wrong with like a swanton bomb like that.
Oh yeah, when you flip. I mean, yeah, literally anything. Like I remember I did one into the pool on a floaty and I myself and I didn't know that was gonna happen. It just happened. Like I need myself right in the eye socket. I was like, oh, you know, like just messing around. But yeah, a lot of things can go wrong. I never been one to like do front flips off the top of stuff, and that's why. I can fall straight backwards or forwards, but rotating, not so much. Not unless somebody else is helping me. It's the only way.
I think what people don't realize, like, you know, we get the trolls that are like, oh, wrestling's fake, wrestling's this, like, I'd rather watch boxing, UFC. People don't realize that they're actually putting their bodies on the line. They are stunt men and women that do this for a freaking living. Like, if anything, like, they get more damaged up, probably not like to an extreme high, but or maybe they do, than like actual like boxers and mixed martial artists that probably just feel that one fight and just get fucked up and then they just heal. These wrestlers are on the road almost 360 days a year doing the same thing over and over again. So like for those who may try to troll about it, just know they actually are busting their ass to try and give entertainment to people. And
well, it's like, you know, is the Terminator really shooting guns at people? Like, there you go. Hello. You know, they're really like alluring, you know, is Harry Potter really like, you know, doing magic and his wizards real? Like, what are we talking about?
Let them know.
It's entertainment. Yeah, it's scripted, but like you buy into other things. This just has to happen to be live and like absolutely flamboyant over the top. Like and the thing is wrestling has so many things now that like anybody can enjoy something in wrestling. They could like something. That's why, you know, like Raw is 3 hours because they know like there's segments like for these people, because they're not competing with other wrestling shows as many people want to think that. They're competing with television, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is that's why I also relate like streaming as well to wrestling so well, because the live interaction of like anything could happen and like changing on the fly and like having stuff that you're going to kind of do, but like not knowing what everybody else is going to do. And like that whole like orgasmic, like just natural energy, right? Like that just happens. And also that like, you know, like, let's be honest, like in streaming, like 44% of people are watching less TV now in favor of live streaming. And like, I don't know, like if anybody knows Sushi Dragon or whatever, but like he's doing like crazy things over there, like to learn more about how to utilize everything. Obviously he's got a warehouse in Montana and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like you look at what he's doing and it's like, you could either be inspired or want to quit streaming if you watch him. Cause it's like, he's doing all this insane stuff. You know, like I have this one remote. He has 2 remotes in his hand and 2 remotes on top of him. You know, like it's insane. There's so much that you can do with this.
Crazy.
Yeah, like, and there's just so many things that you could do with streaming that, you know, like anybody who's teaching you how to stream is pretty much just teaching you how they stream. You know, like I don't ever like even when people ask me to do stuff, like I go, well, what do you want to do? Like I'm not just gonna. You want me to just be IcedT and come out here and just be like, oh yeah, you know, man. Like, or do you want to like do something? Like, you know, do you want to put IcedT in a situation? Like, I don't just go, yeah, I'm down to do something and not have any like thing for it, you know, because I want there to be a little bit of structure to it, because that helps kind of go back to where you need to be, you know, based off of everything else, because you get sidetracked so easily, you know, with chat and stuff. So like that, you want to kind of like, all right, we got to get back here. This is where we're doing this now, kind of, for a little while at least, until we're not. But you know.
Bro, and for people that like may not know much about wrestling, like that's why we like, I can speak for IcedT and myself on this. Like we try to put out the best content, not even just like because we're wrestling fans, but we try to bring non-wrestling fans in here so they can be a part of it in some way, shape, or form. Like, you may not know who Randy Orton is, or may not know who an RKO is, but I damn near know for sure you're gonna love seeing Ice-T get RKO'd, or somebody going into my chat doing exclamation point RKO Cluster or Dank Gaming or anybody. Like, you're gonna see that as entertaining, and then eventually it's gonna want to like get you interested in some way, shape, or form. Shout out to Cluster, who started watching wrestling a little more recently because of like channels like myself and Ice-T as well. Like, just
well, it's also like to broaden your horizon on any type of stuff that's going on. You know what I mean? The stuff that we're doing with our stuff pertaining to wrestling, you can kind of do with anything to whatever you think of, you know, like, I don't know, with like all the bots and like learning how to use them, like literally whatever you want. You have the bots to be able to help you, you know, like when you do redeem a channel point, that it sets this open and delays, and then something else pops up and whatever. Like, you can do all that, you know. So use the bots. Don't be a bot. Use the bots to your advantage.
Take advantage. Yep.
You know, like I always say that. Like, don't use the bots that are available for you. They're free. Learn how to use them, and then you can do some cool stuff that you didn't necessarily set out to do. Like I said, I never set out to be able to switch through all these different scenes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know, Twitch is dying.
Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch is dying because, you know, quarterly layoffs before the fourth quarter happens in every company, whether they're successful or not. You know, just so we're aware, just in case anybody knew or didn't know.
It happened to my company 2 weeks ago. They let go like 100 people, like 150 people, and it's been affected, but still.
Like, I mean, Amazon as a company hired and gave people money to sign on to work at Amazon. $2,000 sign-on bonus if you stay for 3 months, you know, in the warehouse because of the demand with COVID and work from home and all that stuff. Of course they're going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing is like with streaming and stuff, like, you know, Twitch is like the what right now? You know, it's literally like the main streaming thing, whether you like YouTube is definitely the main content place and TikTok and stuff, but Twitch is definitely the live streaming place, regardless of what anybody wants to say. And they know, you know, and I always say this, like, kick Twitch thing really reminds me of like WWE versus WCW, right? Like now, where like where WWE like was like, here, go pay all these big stars, right? Because we got people here that are gonna come up. You know, like, it's the same thing. And like, yeah, you might struggle for a little bit and like everything might seem cool and new, but then at the same time, like, who's been doing this longer? You know, like, who's been involved in this? And even though, like, yeah, it sucks for people to lose their job, I'm sure they'll move on to some of them will probably go to Kick, some of them will go just do other tech stuff. But like, this stuff is going to happen. And if everybody's saying Twitch is stale anyway, like, why wouldn't you want new people hired or like a new direction? You know what I mean? So I think people just gotta calm down, you know, like just ease up a little bit, you know. That's why it's funny for me to come out here and be like, Twitch is dying. Everybody said it. Go to Twitter, you know, like, and that's why I made the Truth Social joke of like, Truth Social,
crying, bro. That had me crying.
Truth Social, and people might be like, oh, but like, seriously, like that's an app. That's an app too. Like, oh, Twitter sucks. Oh, you might as well get on over. They got a 95% sub split. You know, like, it's just it's so stupid. Like, nobody would ever do that. Like, why do you want to go there? But like, it's just, you know, like, is that what we're doing? Like, oh, the Capitol riots didn't happen. You know, like, it's just saying dumb stuff to be like, all right, you know, like, wink. Like,
it brings the shock value. It's like when Sami Zayn said, "You could have asked me about AEW," and then like the crowd went crazy. Like, it's that shock factor.
I gotta be like, you know, and like I said, some people get mad at me for it, but you know, then they think wrestling's real, you know.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
So
it is what it is.
So for this next question, I'm gonna combine them all into one quick question, just to make it fast, go through the questions. So this is a combination of Cambo and King Shark's questions. So least favorite wrestler, favorite finisher, and favorite world champion from WWE.
Like current world champion?
I think of all time.
In modern era of all time? Like, Oh man, so hard. Like I'd have to. So hard to say, like, because you go look at Austin's run. Austin's run wasn't as long as anybody thought. The Rock's run wasn't as long as anybody thought. Like, I'd have to probably go with like a Cena for that, because he literally was on top for almost 20 years, still on top. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, he's transcended, which is also like, you know how like all these wrestlers like turn into like movie stars and celebrities.
Correct,
and
yeah.
that's kind of my gimmick right now. Like, it's like, yeah, we're going to. We're doing big things. Like, yeah, I'm still the champ, but you know, like it's the same kind of concept of that. So I mean, it would probably, Cena's probably the best champ. I mean, you could argue Roman maybe in a couple years after like you see like and go back and watch, because you have to go back and watch like when with this stuff, because like you might not appreciate it at the time and then go back and be like, you know, this was amazing. You know, like that happens a lot. Like I go back and watch. I remember when they went to PG and I was like, ugh. And then I went back and watched it. I was like, man, I missed a lot of great wrestling. You know, like, you know, like, because you don't need, honestly, it's true. Like, people getting hit in the head with chairs, like, as many times as they were. Like, now it's not believable. Like, I've been hit in the back with a chair, and it really makes me want to just be like, you know, like, you get a little bit of wind knocked out of you, you know, even though that you're bracing for it. But, like, even still, like, how many times you need to be hit with a chair? Yeah. Probably one should do it. Like, if you kick out, like, this better be like a big money match. But I would say Cena. I mean, you can't deny what Hogan did in the 80s and stuff. Like, literally, you always got to, regardless of what people think of him as a person or whatever, you still look back at like the body of work, and like a lot of people have mimicked. I'll tell you what, no matter what nobody says, when he kicks out of that finisher and hulks up, and if you saw that live, you would freaking, like, you know, you would. Like, it just it's literally, so many people do that now. It's the fire up. Like, so many people do that. It's just that his comeback was his finish. Like, that's really it. My least favorite wrestler, man, like when I was a kid, it was definitely Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, because you like Bret Hart.
I like Bret Hart, so it was easily Shawn Michaels. I mean, I'm trying to think of like now, you know, like who don't I like now?
I don't think I dislike anybody now, because like everybody just plays such a good story.
Elias Colleen. Yeah. So bad. Yeah, it's pretty terrible at this point. I mean, you can look back, and I always find something entertaining out of something somebody does. I mean, I used to hate Cena. I used to hate Khali.
Same.
I used to hate Kozlov and stuff. And then I go back and watch it, and I'm like, all right, that's kind of funny, you know, like. So I really don't have a least favorite wrestler. Like, I even love the Red Rooster gimmick. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, wow. Like, that was. Yeah, like literally, like he fires up and pecks people. Like, it was hilarious, like watching that back. Like, that would get over in the indies so much right now. Like, to be honest with you, like just like a Red Rooster with a mohawk, and then like when he's firing up, he starts, you know, and starts pecking people, knocking them down. Like, it's so ridiculous. So like, I really don't think. I mean, Giant Gonzalez. We'll say that's my least favorite wrestler, because
I forgot about him.
Ridiculous. Yeah, poor guy, El Gigante from WCW. But
he's
like
freaking tall too, man. Like,
he was tall, but like, what was up with that? That was one of the worst attires I've ever seen in my entire life.
Like freaking caveman in a way.
Yeah, literally. Literally.
Red Cloud, thank you for still being here, man. I appreciate you. Rex Shot, same with you. I appreciate you guys all hanging out with us. If anybody here is coming in for the first time, exclamation point guest in the chat. If you want to get to know our guest tonight, IcedTCurtis, I highly recommend you hit him with a follow. And also hit up his social media, check out his clips, all god tier content. Okay, so King Shark and Campbell, hopefully that answers the wrestling questions. Pink Umbrella, I got your question. On an average day, when you don't stream or work, what do you do?
Well, what do I do? Well, there's a lot. On an average day when I'm not doing anything, I'm doing some little stuff around the house, you know, like IRL stuff. Sometimes I write the schedule at work a little early. You know, we like to do that, get that out of the way, being the front of house bar manager that I am. But I really just sit here and try to write and come up with different concepts like that I'll use later, you know, like, and like kind of try to just play with little things like what could I do better? I watch my own VODs. I try to clip stuff out that I could eventually use to make TikToks and stuff. I feel like I'm really like compiling content right now. like with the live stream. Like I really went and leaned into the route. Like I only have enough time to do certain stuff, so why not just get better at my live stream, and then like I could put all the clips out later. It doesn't matter. Nobody will know when it's from who doesn't know me. So what does it matter? Like it doesn't really matter. Like I don't need to try to chase an algorithm. Like I don't want to do that. I was doing well on TikTok till like I got banned. My live got banned 3 times for bullying, and I'm like, who's getting bullied? I'm getting bullied. Me, my own stream, but I'm the bully. I'm bullying, harassing. So like I haven't really focused on that too much. Like what I really try to do is like, how could I have like the most reactive stuff? Like I try to read everything as much as possible. Like like I'll take whatever somebody says, I'll read it here, come back, read it here, come back, and now we're talking, right? Like I think that like that aspect of it is cool, and like to be able to kind of lob like a meatball up to them, a little layup, like here you go. Like here, you can smack this one out. But kind of just give context and like give like story arc to the stream, like what I'm doing, like we're building, like try to put that into and create that image of to try to inspire people to like be like, how does he stream like that? What is he doing? You know what I mean? I know it's different from like what the normal stream is. Yeah. But I feel like just maybe like if people could see and like the stuff that I'm doing, they might want to go with that, because how things work around on Twitch. Like people really kind of just want to get by not really doing the right things. So I always try to troll that behavior. Like I've never like really attacked somebody personally, like when it comes to like what's actually going on in their life or anything like that. I've only gone at behaviors, because I feel like a lot of people have an opportunity on Twitch, and I feel like Twitch should definitely be a area where people get discovered from companies besides normal people as well. Like, yeah, absolutely normal people, but there's no reason why music producers shouldn't be in here discovering musicians. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for that. There's no reason why people can't find people who are doing production stuff and, like want to use them for ideas. Like I always say, like, I don't care if I'm the biggest streamer ever. I just want a place in this space. Like I love it. I have so much fun. I've met so many people who I love, like that I can't even picture my life without anymore. That I just want what's best for the space. And I think it could be better. And I think like people like me who sometimes come out and just say anything, like, and I say what people talk about, or just like snub their nose at, you know what I mean? Like if you go on Twitter and somebody goes this and that and the other thing, and they're talking about somebody or whatever, that I like to just blow it all out open, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people see that like I'm very free-willed, and I think that's how more people should be. There's no design to this. It's kind of whatever you are, and I'm showing, for me, like IcedTCurtis is a very turned up version of like my humor, you know what I mean? Like, because if you look at it, like at the end of the day, I always get mine. I think it's all about me until it's about me getting beat up and trolled, and so that's why it's like, I'm just gonna say the stuff. We're gonna go around and do the different things and go to I'll sit on the throne and say I'm the king of content, or we'll go to the green light district,
the green light district.
We'll go to the green light district. We'll go to the green light district over here. You know what I mean? So we'll go and do that stuff. It's just funny to do, and it's also given me an outlet, like to enjoy myself and have fun with it. And I think people should have more fun with it than stressing out about numbers and stuff, especially on Twitch, where like it's not necessarily whether you're better than someone or not, whether you're getting stuff like getting views or whatever it is. It's like how well known. And I think you have to grow yourself, and then you'll naturally grow. And that's kind of been what I've been doing, and I've taken many breaks to get my head right and adapt and see what's going on, and get IRL stuff straightened out, because you don't want to just consistently bang your head against the wall. You always want to be able to evolve. And for me, like, this is just, I feel like I'm still in infant stages, but I'm also a long way from where I was. And like to be able to involve people in content. Like it's just fun. So like I try to just come up with different things that I think would be funny for people to watch, people to get involved in, and like coming up with concepts for future things if I ever have the opportunity to have more time to do this, you know. I like to smoke and chill out sometimes. Some days I take a pass. I like to take a pass, you know, but sometimes that's when, yeah, and sometimes that's when the best content comes up, because I'll like be writing something and then, you know, maybe like 1 or 2 hits, and then I'll turn it up a little bit, and then
you definitely feel it at that point.
Yeah. And then, but then I perform this absolutely just caffeinated. So like I can't, like I have to be on, like I have to be super aware. There's so much going on that like I don't want to miss my cue. Like I that's why like I could have made my channel points for money, you know, but I don't want to do that. Like I don't necessarily like, yeah, I appreciate everything I get, right? But what I really want is just the opportunity to get put in a position to get that you know, get viewed, be seen, and be seen as somebody who could make somewhat of a difference, you know, like, because everybody thinks that I'm really IcedTCurtis, you know. They've never talked to me before, so sometimes and that's why these kind of things are cool. Yeah, be like, when you come in, like I can't be doing some of the stuff that, you know, that you would do, and like if I was just sitting here and we were hanging out and doing a hangout stream, like I'm not necessarily gonna be when you come in and you're like, what's up, and I'm like, what's up, I got this and this is going on, you know, like that. I'm gonna tell you what's going on in this stream, you know. Like sometimes I'll break character and be like, how are you? I haven't seen you in so long. Oh my god. But like, well, we'll continue to go on with it, you know. And half the time people are having a conversation with themselves. I don't even gotta say shit because I'm on my back or something.
Or they're spending 4 minutes straight hitting you with curve stomps and
my god,
cancels and RKOs and Jake Pauls for 4 minutes straight.
It's like I'm sweating with the oldies over here, man. I'm no spring chicken anymore, but it's definitely like it's built me up in endurance, which is crazy.
I don't crazy, like, bro. That's good.
But that's why I'm like only live for like 2, 3. You know, I'm pushing 3 now. I'm trying to push it further to 3. You know, like because I don't want to. You know, you're never gonna see me do that stream for 12 hours, ever, unless like unless I'm off or something, you know what I mean? Like for like a week and like I was trying to accomplish something. I'm like, all right, but like, what am I gonna do? Just wait? You know what I mean? I'm trying to come up with different stuff for it though. Like I just got to figure out how to work the bots to make I have a really cool idea. I don't want to really give it away. I'll tell you like probably off stream, but like it needs to happen because it definitely will make sense for it while I work on the other stuff. And then once I get like Christ T all set up and, you know, get like exact direction on like what I want the channel points to be for that and normal Trav, like I have other things I have written down that I want to do different stuff of and troll that, like, because I don't want everything to just be like, oh, I'm gonna just shit on all like streaming stuff that everybody's told to do stuff. But like at the end of the day, like I've had people unfollow me and then refollow me when they get it. Like, you know, it happens. Like I don't expect it to be everybody's cup of tea, you know, but that's why there's a variety.
No one's gonna be everybody's cup of tea at the end of the day. There's gonna be people that leave. There's gonna be people that come back even as well. But you know, you take it one day at a time, and people will like you for you at the end of the day. Right.
100%.
Yo, what's good, Joe? Welcome in. How's everything been with you? Good to see you. So we are coming a little bit to the end. I don't want to keep you extremely too long, but I did have a few questions that I wanted to ask regarding more related to the Twitch side of things. The first one should be quick. What was the very first community that you were a part of?
So the first community I was a part of was probably like I met Pleepy, right? And how I met Pleepy was in like a Facebook community group because we were both trying to get affiliated. Wow. Nice. So I met him in that. That was the last time we both used Facebook. How crazy. And he was the first person I met. And then the first community, I guess, that I met was Hat Nation. Like it was Black Hat and like that whole and all that group. And yeah. So that's how I started meeting people around there. Yeah.
That's dope, man.
So that's how I met people. I think I immediately rub people the wrong way because you know me. So like I'm like you know this person yet though. Like, but I'm told that I should know this person. I'm told this, and I like to make my own decisions. Like whether somebody says somebody's an asshole or not an asshole, I'd still like to make my own decision unless there's like damning evidence of them being a POS, you know, like, and that's how I really feel. You know what I mean? And that's it. And I'd like to make my decision on that stuff. And like, there's nothing nobody can change that. Like, you know, obviously I get a little bit more defensive if like you do something to my friends or something, because my friends have done way more for me than I could ever explain or show gratitude for that I've had here. And me and Pleepy have been day ones. Like, and that's why I love it. Like I tell him all the time, every time that I'm live, he's live because he's a fixture in my content now. And I love that because that could travel with me forever. And I like, for me, like, people are so fake sometimes that people are so scared to collaborate with people. And I think if people collaborated with people and did more cool stuff together, that more people would love to see that, you know, but people are so like scared because somebody might turn out to be, you know, a jerk off. And that's unfortunate because I think the space would grow if, you know, creators got creative together, you know, and eventually I would hope my platform could do that. Later on down the road if given the opportunity.
Oh man, GG Bunny, I like this question. You once did a video of you in a very sexy skin tight wrestling suit showing off your assets. Is it true that you started OnlyFans after that?
No, but I mean, if I were, hold on, we could just go down here, down the kick, down to the green light district. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
It's so perfect. Start one, the lounge and everything.
If I were to start one, I would, you know, start it here. These girls are looking at me. I think they like me around here, you know. Just don't go into the back alley. You just don't want to be here. This is where you don't want to be because
I didn't even see a lot of sketchy stuff. What the hell?
There's a lot of sketchy stuff going on over there. You back here, you rather be inside. You feel way better inside than you do in the back alley of yeah, you don't want to hear what's going on back there. Yeah,
all the fun is in the back alley. Let them know, GG.
the truth is in the back alley, and there's a lot of stuff going on that I can't. TOS, you know.
What? No. There's no TOS with Kick. What are you talking about?
I'm saying for here, and just for, you know, just for everybody's safety, let's just. You didn't see anything, okay? You didn't see anything.
So, I got 2 more questions for you before we finish off the interview tonight. Okay. First one. At the moment, how do you manage your time with your loved ones, your job, and Twitch as a whole? I already know you're somebody that doesn't do like, trying to be literally everywhere 24/7. So I know you like, and you have work and stuff with your job and whatnot, but how do you manage all of that?
So, for anybody that my computer's always on, I'll be honest with that. Like, there's a narrative going out there that I am focused on my own content. True. Everybody should be. But that doesn't mean that I don't have somebody up. I always do. And if I'm going to lurk in your chat and I'm not going to say anything more than like, what's up, or put an emote, I'm just not going to say anything, because at that point, it's not about me. It's about you, and I'm supporting you. Whether you know I'm supporting you, it doesn't matter. I don't care that you know. I'm still supporting you. And I don't think support should be like, I'm supporting you. Look at me. I'm supporting you. Look at me. I'm here. I think it should be that I'm supporting you. You know what I mean? Like, and it doesn't need to be advertised, like, because I'm there for you. So I always have somebody up, whether I say anything or not. Like, it does not matter to me. I'm always out there somewhere. If I'm at work and it's a lull, I try to pop in the streams. Like, you've seen me at work, like, come into your stream, and you know, I get Matty Pace a lot because he's in the morning, and like from 10 to 11,
exactly.
I do a line check, and like, you know, it's kind of slow during the week and stuff like that, you know. And yeah, like I lurk, and like, you know, I'm sitting on the computer trying to better my content. You know, I used to think back in the day when all these communities first like really started and stuff, that when I saw a lot of the people, you know, a lot of the same people in a lot of the same places, I thought of like, maybe I can go bring new people to the community. And then it looked as that I was not part of the community, and because I was trying to find new people to bring to the community. Oh, now we're not just raiding the same people that you know all the time. Yeah. I really wanted to go out there and do it. And then I just started getting unfollowed and kind of like poo-pooed because I was making content and doing whatever. And, you know, and that's why when I made this heel turn, you know, this is what Twitch was here before I was here. And now I'm just playing in what everyone else created, you know, like, and it was like a joke, but it was real because I got kind of casted out a little bit for making jokes. But like, what, are we blind to the situation here? Like, am I the only awake? Like, no, I'm not. We all know. It's just so certain people are afraid to get
some
like,
people are afraid to say it. Some people don't care.
Well, people
will call it out.
Well, the thing is like, you know, it is what it is. I just don't like to see people who are really trying to do their best get taken advantage of.
Absolutely.
And I think it's not fair. Like it isn't, you know, and you know, life's not fair. So I'm totally with that. But also like, why can't we just be better? You know, when you look at through the world as the eyes of good, you can spot the bad pretty easy. You know, like I like to see everything as good. So when I see something bad, I can go, that's bad. That's very used car salesman of you to do that. Like, we don't want to do that. But like I try to manage my time based on off my work schedule, being a restaurant manager. You know, I open some days, I'm the mid some days, I don't have consistent days off. At this place I do right now because somebody has to work specific days because of kids and where his wife works. So he has to usually work the weekends, which works out for me pretty well.
Absolutely. If they want to work weekends,
hey, I'll close every night. I'll close Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and not Friday. That's fine. But I'll work the easy days. So, you know, it is what it is. So based off of that schedule is like how I'll work on stuff. You know, but then I also don't ever want to lose myself in the content so much that I don't talk to my friends and stuff. So I always do that. You know what I mean? Mine and Colleen's schedule doesn't match up so much. You know what I mean? Like Saturday, like I'll stream Friday, but Saturday I'm off all day and Colleen's off, and we'll probably literally just hang out. You know what I mean? Like, and I have to say that Colleen gives me infinite time to sit here and try to figure my stuff out. So I mean, shout out to Colleen. She's always supported me. And if you think I'm a bad person, meet my girlfriend. Like she's a very, very nice person. Like, seriously.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
pleasure
if I was really
pleasure meeting both of you, by the way, at TwitchCon.
Oh, absolutely. That was awesome. I was like, who is standing next to me right now? I was like, oh shit. That's crazy. You know, so and then just, you know, try to keep up with everybody. Like if somebody calls me and I miss it, to make sure I get it the next time, and you know, have an actual conversation about like what I'm doing. There's a lot of my friends that like they'll pop into my streams, but like I don't go, you're not my friend because you're not here. Like, you're just wearing on Twitch. Like, it is what it is, you know. It doesn't mean that like if I ever blew up and I was a big streamer that I would be like, hey, we're flying here or whatever the fuck, you know. Like, they're still my friends. It doesn't matter. Like, I think that stuff is stupid. Like, if they want to watch, if they have time to. I mean, my one friend doesn't even have a fucking computer, you know. He's gonna sit on his mobile app. You know how that one sucks sometimes. But I just try to make sure I manage everything, that I kind of always make sure that I gear my energy. Like, I'm not stupid enough to go stream IcedT 3 times in a row and then go work 10 straight days. You know, like I gotta kind of put myself on a governor, so like I'm able to produce the stream that I want. Like, I would hate to like not be able to be like in sync, because like I gotta be on to do this. And I really and sometimes I'm nervous. Sometimes you always get nervous, like regardless of how confident I appear or whatever. Sometimes people care, you know, like you always get that, you know, but the second I go live, like it's like the Rain Man takes over sometimes. And I just, and I love that, because it's so natural, you know, like it's become this very natural thing. So I try to make
it is natural. Like when I see it, it's like straight up, like I really think it's like you said. Oh, people really think I'm IcedTCurtis. Like it goes very well.
And the thing is like that's what it needs to appear like, though, you know. And for me, like I really try to always make sure I get better. If I could better something I already have, make it better, because then people were there when it wasn't. You know what I mean? People were there for me when I was playing Donkey Kong and I couldn't get my mic to work. You know, now I know how to do. Oh no, you just do this and that. Boom, boom, boom. Like I'm like a psychopath now. Like it's literally crazy. So like it's always honing in on stuff. It's always making sure that you're true to the influences on you. Like I always say this like in a way like of no disrespect. Like I don't know if I'm necessarily like influenced by anybody on Twitch. I admire a lot of people, but my influences are from me throughout my entire life. And yet, you know what I'm saying? Like the movies I've seen as a kid, what really hit me where you know, like what really hit me as a kid or as an adult, or like something I really tapped into, like those are the things that should influence everything that has influenced you up until this point to start streaming. And that answer can change, like, because there's people younger than us who grew up with Twitch in their teens. You know what I mean? Like I didn't. And like I was 20 years old by the time Twitch really rolled out. Right. Like, so I didn't, but I grew up in the early stages of YouTube and a lot of like, you know, like America's Funniest Home Videos, LimeWire, like just taking a shot in the dark and being like, let's open this video. I shouldn't have opened this video. Now I have malware everywhere, and now my computer's frozen. uTorrents everywhere. What's happening? 90 things. Oh my God, what's happening? 12 minutes to Wapner. Oh my God. But like literally, it's just. So I always tell people, like, what's your bare bones? Like, we don't change much from what we love as a kid. And we really don't. Like, we're still the foundation of that is there. And if you're who you are in your soul, like, you'll be able to find that perfect balance eventually if you care enough about it. And like, I get, you know, I'm long-winded, man. Like, and I know that. But it's like, so people understand, like, what I'm saying to them. Like, even on Twitter, sometimes I'm like, I'm long-winded, but I just care. You know, like I care about what this could potentially be. And I think that if we try to get more of a general audience to Twitch to see what real people like them are doing, like it would inspire them to maybe they want to stream, or they want to get into editing, or to design, or they want to get into, you know what, I want to chase my dream. I want to chase my, one day, like, that's why I always say one day maybe you could be the champ, right? Because it is what we make ourselves, and it's how we're able to articulate content in the way that we are. Because there's all different types of content, you know. But I think that people need to care about it, you know. Like, and that's one of the reasons. Like, aside from the moderation problems on Kick and stuff like that, just for me, like I set out to do it on Twitch, and I set out to be partner on Twitch to make it better on Twitch. Like, I really don't have time for another app, or I already have too much stuff going on, you know, like in Discord alone. Like, you know, like I'm trying to work with creators and try to work with other you know, different bots and all these different things, and like trying to learn and make my stream better and try to make it something that, like I said, eventually other people can come and interact with me, and maybe, you know, they'll be around in New Jersey and maybe they want to, you know, film something, and then that might be another flashback.
Make a little appearance.
You know? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I think because it's cool. Like when anybody's in this room with me, it's always like, I always catch them like staring like into the OBS, like, oh my God, like it's weird. You know what I mean? Because you're here and then you're there. And then it's just like, you know, and then if they got to move out of the way for me to do the thing, they're like, this is crazy. You know, like, and it's just, I don't know. Like, I've tried to find, like, that Randy Orton meme, he RKO'd everything for, like, back in the Vine days.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like,
I remember that. I think he RKO'd an asteroid or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it was
like
funny content. Funny content.
So that's where I kind of was like, that'd be funny if he just did it to me. And, like, I have no choice. And I time to get ready for it, you know, because I knew I was going to have this. And this is kind of where I am, you know. But like I said, it is what it is, man. Like I just want to put on a show. I want to entertain people. I want to eyes on everybody around me, and if I got to be a loudmouth bad guy world champion to do it, then so be it. And it's fun.
Absolutely great. Absolutely great. Before we get to the last question, guys, exclamation point guest in the chat if you haven't gotten to do so already. If you haven't followed IcedTCurtis, make sure you go ahead and do so. Icy, again, thank you for being here, man. I know you had to like make sure your like work schedule like lined up so we could do this, and like I know we reached out like even like before the end of the year happened, like to get this done. So like happy that it finally became a reality. So like, thank you for taking the time to be here. So
absolutely.
So the final question of the night is, what do you feel has helped you grow the most at the moment? And I will say your numbers have been fantastic. I've been seeing them when I see you go live. Been doing great, and keep up the great work. So I'll ask you that question.
So I think it's just being consistent in who I am. I think that's a lot of what has happened over the last year and transpired, and a lot of things where people revealed themselves to maybe not be so honest about what their intentions are. I've probably sounded the same this entire time, you know, and like as the more you watch me and the more that like if you're on Twitter and you see the stuff on Twitter and then you come to my stream, I'm like, this is pretty much what everybody's talking about right here, right? Like, and people will either get mad at me or laugh at it. And I come from the, you know, everything is kind of funny. It's like I don't get offended by what anybody says about me. Like I lean into it. Like I remember, well, I guess we'll name drop. Like I remember when JTX was going on everybody and he called me a standing streamer. I leaned into that, and that's why there's a clip, and it's probably one of my most like watched clips, right? Of like, I'm a standing streamer. Now it's a joke because like that's what it should be. You know, is that
it adds to the content too.
He's just standing there menacingly. Like that's where it all like, you know, and that's why it's so funny. It's like the standing streamer versus just laying down. Here we go. Book it at TwitchCon. Like we could literally play off. It's just so funny that like when we were doing the champ stuff, it's just so ridiculous. Like it just writes itself, right? Because like this is the only place that this can happen because we created it. You know, like this
it only
is
makes
what
sense
happens.
to us too. Anybody outside would be like, what the hell is this? What the hell is a standing streamer? What the hell is like a just laying down? What's a JLD? Who's JLD? Crazy.
But this is what we're out here to do, right? We're out here to create these things out of nothing, to make something. You know what I mean? It's guy doesn't lay down. But that's what I'm saying is like we're creating stuff out of nothing. We're creating connections genuinely, and I think that more people are just like kind of tired of like getting ran around, right? Like they just want to be around people that's going to inspire them or help them be better. And all my friends help me be better, all of them, every single one of them, whether they realize it or not. They tell me when they think that I shouldn't do something, and whether I do it or not is on me. But like they always are honest with me. And that helps me so much because I don't want smoke blown up my ass. Like I don't want people to be just like, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's great. Nothing gets better that way. Zero things become better when you don't get constructive criticism along with your appreciative. And I think that it goes a long way. Like, and I'm truly like astounded like of like a lot of the stuff that I've been getting lately. But like my growth has come to just running into the right people, getting out of the bubble of stuff that where, you know, everybody just kind of click the name, and they're great. They're great. I don't have any validation behind it, but you're, you know, like there's really nothing. There's nothing special about that. You can't make anybody special that way if everybody's special. And if everybody's special, then nobody's special. Like you really can't make that connection with somebody. So I posted something on Twitter the other day, like everybody keep networking. I'll keep making connections with people. And I think that's very important that you connect. And it doesn't mean that you guys have to be best friends, but you got to connect with your audience. You got to connect through that screen to the person and the screen. And the screen don't lie. Like, I'll tell you, like, it doesn't lie. So like when I'm a little bit harsh on certain things, and that's because I just want people to be better, because this could be so much more than what it is. And in the future, streaming is going to boom again. Like, we're in a lull because after COVID, everybody was home. They're not home. So it looks like, oh, everything's terrible. No, I think there's a lot of people whose viewership didn't go down. You know, like there's some people that didn't lose a wink. You know, there's some people who have, like, things happen, things change, people change, but certain people who are home aren't home. Like we all have figuring out to do, right? And I think it's just important that you figure out a direction. And once you get a direction on what you think you're going to do, and you have the substance, and you're truly 100% all in and believe in yourself, then things are just going to naturally happen, because you're there. You know, there's no nervousness anymore. Like, you still get like a little nervous, like, because you got butterflies, you're live and all that stuff. But you're comfortable with what you're saying, who you're with, who's around, and what you're doing, whatever content it is, and you're happy with yourself. And when you're happy, it's really, yeah, exactly. So for me, it's just been kind of natural for me to kind of just start kind of just getting more and more of like a little blanket base there, and new people coming around that are kind of doing similar stuff as me. Some people who aren't, who are just viewers, who maybe stream once a year, you know, like, I threw on a stream because I was just, you know. But for the most part, like, I got people around me that, you know, want to see what I'm gonna do either next, or what's gonna happen, or how we're gonna troll me this time. Or sometimes people just want to talk to me, which is also cool, because I didn't find value in myself for a while, and that's why I needed to go away and find that value in Trav again, which is another reason why I went back into managing, because it showed that I could be a leader again. Like, I needed that. Like, absolutely. Can I lead people again? Can I lead people to do what they need to do, and show them why certain things work, and why they should handle things this way, and that you can take with you in life. And I think if you can influence people in that way, and also just always try to make people laugh regardless of what's going on, I think that is just to always have that positive vibe no matter what's going on in my life. You know, there's stuff going on in my life, I don't necessarily want to talk about it, but, you know, that's happening, but I still need to live life. And I think people need to look at that way, and not get off their numbers as much. Like 2 years, like, a lot of streamers don't make it to like 3-4 years, like, to where they say
screw this, and they're just like, nothing's growing, I'm out.
Yeah, you know, like, but the thing is like 6 months isn't gonna, 6 months into me streaming, oh man, I still like was having tech issues that I could not figure out. Like, it was just be like, you know, like, it takes such a long time, especially when you don't know all this stuff. Like, I think everybody just needs to.
We learned a lot doing all this streaming shit, for sure.
Yeah.
We can all become IT people after this. So the way we troubleshoot literally everything, OBS, Windows, right, Mac if you got a Mac, everything, capture cards, devices, drivers. Absolutely insane the amount of stuff you got to learn to do this streaming stuff.
I tell people all the time, like, whether if you love this, there's something for you in it. When that doesn't matter if you're the camera person, it doesn't matter if you're the writer, it doesn't matter if you're the director, it doesn't matter if you're the producer, it doesn't matter if you're the performer, it doesn't matter. Like, you could do anything in this space, and I would take the same amount of money I make right now to do this forever. Like, I honestly would. Like, I don't need millions of dollars to do this. I love doing this, you know, and I wish I had more time for it. But you know, if I got a couple of sponsors and was like, hey, we'll pay you to do your shtick, hey, I'll do it. Absolutely. You know, I'd rather do that than do what I'm doing now. And not that I hate doing what I'm doing, because, you know, when you make a positive impact for people and you work with cool people and you know what you're doing, it's kind of like you go in there and you're like, yeah, make all this food real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you should see me at the restaurant, man. I'm crazy at the restaurant. I move around. I was zooming around there, bro. I taught a whole kitchen how to cook once. It's crazy. It's so stupid. Like, because I never knew how to do that until I started working in the restaurant business. You don't know what you're capable of until you actually go and do it. And then you could go, oh, I'm really good at that. Or I'm not that good at that, but I'm good at this. You need to try stuff out. or you'll never know. Be honest.
Confidence is the key indicator of if people want to pull up. If you don't know what you're streaming, if you don't know like what you want to do if you're streaming world, or if you don't come off as like somebody who's confident in your own channel, you can't expect other people to be confident in your channel for you. And like that's just how it is at the end of the day. It took me months to get to where I am in terms of like me being confident in what I do in streaming. Before that, it was literally just random shit. Now it's like I do the viewers champion thing. I let people troll me, literally like trolling all freaking day. I let everybody just have a good time in channel, and I know also from a technical standpoint what I'm doing, so it makes it look more of like in sync and like a production and show.
And I think once people understand that
Twitch is not just gaming, it's like a whole show. You're giving somebody a show, and you got to think of ways to keep them there. Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex, PUBG, that only keeps them there for so long. But
when people go into your channel for you as a person,
like your personality, your character, whatever it is, then you know you got them when they see you as entertaining. That's what it comes down to.
And then like on top of that, like because this has been happening so much recently, is like people's content are good, but then also like if you're not a good person, which a lot of people
that too.
You know, I don't want to say a lot of people. I don't want to say a lot of people, but like that is always what's like brought to the like you never hear about how great somebody is, and if you do, sometimes it's a little like, oh my god, they're so great because they're not a lot of followers. But then you get the people who aren't so great, their content's great, and then you find out the content of their character is not good. And that matters too. And I think you need to have both, and I think you need to be a good person. Like there's no reason to be a bad one, you know. And that doesn't mean like laying down and like literally just taking shit from people. Like, no, absolutely. Hold your ground. Like you have your beliefs too. Like you shouldn't back down to people. It doesn't make you a bad person for speaking your opinion. I think people need to speak more of their opinions. I think people would figure out that they have more in common with each other than they don't.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean? Like we have way more in common than we don't have in common. And maybe if we understood each other's perspectives a little bit better, maybe we can come to at least a common ground and be like, you know what, I understand you, I respect you, and we can leave it at that, and that's it. But people don't want to do that, and if people don't want to do that with me, I make content out of it. So I mean, either way, like, you know, it's either play nice or we're gonna play.
Basically,
like that's how I feel about it. You know, either way, it's gonna be something.
Well, Ice-T, it's been a fantastic
couch talking.
Ice-T, again, thank you for having taking the time to be with us tonight. It was a long time coming. I appreciate you taking the time, and you know, thank you to everybody in chat that asked questions and, you know, got their perspective from you on certain things. So Ice-T,
absolutely.
I'll be chatting with you after stream as well, about the other stuff that we could talk about. And till then, dude, thank you for being here, man. I hope you have a fantastic night. And Colleen, thank you for allowing me to have Ice-T for a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was great, man.
Absolutely. All right, man. Take care. I'll see you soon.
Take care, brother.
Boom. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so notifications are on. Take care, everybody, and I will see you all next time.